The lights? That's where we belong. It's time for the new wave. Time for a new era. It's time to make your moment.
Ultimate Boxer returns to Manchester tonight, and it is time for the big guys. UB6 brings you the heavyweights, the most coveted division of them all. 8 supremely confident professionals waiting in the wings, waiting to battle it out. As always, 3 rounds, 3 minutes, 3 fights and £50,000 up for grabs. I'm telling you one thing, it's going off tonight. This is Ultimate Boxer.
When the big boys get moving fast, you get a lot of knockouts.
Ultimate Boxer heavyweights, he's just going to be swinging bombs from the ceiling.
So, if you've never watched Ultimate Boxer, welcome along. Great to have you on board. Where have you been, though? UB6 promises to bring you more knockout action than ever before. That is a guarantee. The fighters start off in 4 quarter-final matchups. The winners progress to the semis, where the final lineup will be decided before crowning our heavyweight champion. We're also going to bring you a bit of a filler bout as well between the brilliant Albanian Florian Marcu and the British fighter Nathan Benden. That's a 6-round welterweight contest. We do not mess about here on Ultimate Boxer. A star-studded lineup for you. Alongside me, $1 Million Crawler, recently retired. Great to have you here. Amir Khan, a.k.a. Justin Bieber. We'll talk about the hair later. And Paulie Malignaggi, who has commentated on every single one of the Ultimate Boxers to date. Guys, this is what I've been waiting for, the heavyweights, Paulie. Is this a format that's really going to suit them, these 3 rounds?
Well, it better suit them, because whether or not it suits them, they're going to be going in there and throwing some heavy leather. It's not a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time to lay on each other like sometimes happens with big guys who can't fight at a fast pace. They're going to have no choice. So whether it suits them or not, I don't know. But it's going to force a lot of action, and you know what the big boys do when there's action. They throw big punches.
Amir, last time out in London we talked, didn't we? And you said you would have loved to have done this, and you've done something similar in the past. But this gives people a platform. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely, you know, it's going to be on BT Sport. It's going to be live, and it gives them a massive opportunity to fight in front of a massive crowd, really. It's a full sellout here tonight, and it's going to be there's a lot of people here rooting for these fighters, and I think it's just a great part to, you know, to spend time here now and to experience what it's going to be like, especially in front of this massive crowd. So, yeah, man, I mean, I think it's a great time for them.
And what is it about heavyweight boxing that just captures the public's imagination?
I think the saying one punch in boxing can change it all, but nothing's more true than in the heavyweight division. And tonight, over 3 frantic rounds, I think we're going to see plenty of knockdowns and knockouts.
What are we expecting then, Amir, tonight? I mean, look, you've been to a couple of these ringside.
I've been to a couple of them.
It's like nothing else, though, isn't it? And for these guys, a lot of them haven't been to a scene like this. They're not used to walking out in front of this many people. It could phase a few of them.
Definitely going to be a lot of fireworks today. I mean, there'll be a lot of leather thrown tonight, and I feel that, you know, there's only 3 rounds in this, so in the fights they are very short. I think they have to go in there and just give it their all. Before you know it, the fight's over. So I think there's going to be a lot of knockouts. There's going to be a lot of knockdowns as well. I'm quite excited to see what the heavyweights have got.
You know, the thing about heavyweights is they don't tend to have the stamina of smaller weight fighters do. That's going to be interesting as well, how these guys recover between fights. If they're not able to get a quick knockout, you know, the time you have between fights, you have to recover, because you're going to go back on if you win. So, you know, we've seen sometimes guys have a little bit of hiccups in the tournaments when, you know, they've had tough fights early on. But what happens when a heavyweight has a really fast-paced fight, when these guys are used to fighting at a slower pace? It's going to be really interesting to note, not just look at the favorites, but also look at guys who can kind of possibly creep in because of these type of kind of adverse situations.
Go on, Ant, you were going to say?
No, Paulie mentioned it then. your route to the final in these competitions are so important.
Yeah.
We've seen it last time we was there with Michaela Wild, Damian Chambers, and the damage was done from Damian Chambers through such a tough semi-final, taking nothing away from Lawal, who picked out a brilliant shot, but your passage to the final is so important in these tournaments.
So that is the view from ringside. Let's go backstage and speak to the man that is Steve Bunce, the legend that is Steve Bunce, who again has been to all of these Ultimate Boxers. Are you behaving yourself back there?
I am behaving myself, but it's hard to behave myself because back here I'm with Bad News, the Big Dog, the Ghost. There's a guy impersonating Andy Ruiz. He's got the same belly. He's got the same 7-pound sombrero. There's one or two guys sitting in isolation. There's unbeaten boxers. There's one kid who played rugby league professional at 16, and there's another kid who's in Afghanistan at 17 in the army. There's hard luck stories that you could not invent, and I really mean that. And they're all here in a couple of rooms, eyeing each other up, getting their sweat up, getting their gloves on and waiting to get going. 7 contests, only one winner will leave here. And it's more than just the money, it's more than the glory. Back here, I'll tell you what it is. I'm not joking, Will, it's pride. Back to you, big lad.
Buncey, thank you very much. Great to see you. Guys, what is it then about the heavyweights that we're going to see potentially tactically that's been different to the other weights so far?
I don't believe we'll see much different tactically to what we have seen in the other weights, because in those other weights we've seen them come out with blocks very, very fast, score early knockdowns, early knockouts, and no, I think, like I mentioned just earlier, your passage to the final is so important. But it's a bit of a gamble to take, but if you can get an early finish in the first round in your quarter-final, it's almost money in the bank for later on in the tournament.
If you were in their corner, Amir, what would you say to these guys?
I would tell the fighters just go in there and just give it their all. It's only 3 rounds. Look, I think any fighter out there can get into a fight for 3 rounds and not get tired.
Does instinct just take over?
I think so, yeah. You know, I think you just have to go in there and just give it their all, really. You have to, they don't take a step back. And they can't show that they're hurt in any way, because you have to remember the judges are going to see how the opponents, how the fighters are going to be fighting. So I think it's the best thing to do is just step back and kind of just go for the kill, really.
It is absolutely cracking, the atmosphere here just outside of Manchester in Altrincham. And let's go and speak to Layla Annalee and Jack Fincham, who are soaking it all up.
Yes, Jack Fincham on my right. Really excited to have you now officially part of the team. Last time you beat Ultimate Boxer 5, you were here hosting with me. It was just a teaser.
I know, I was just a fan last time,
Yeah.
being part of the team. I'm so excited. I love boxing, I love the format, and I can't wait to see some knockouts.
So tell me, what's it like for a night out? Because you've come here just for the party before, haven't you?
Last time I was here just for the party, but honestly, the atmosphere is always wicked because it's so fast-paced. Everyone's, you know, they're up and down from the bar, obviously,
Yeah.
but honestly, it's a great night out, wicked atmosphere.
Now, you're a boxer yourself, family
Yes.
boxer, 26 fights behind your
Yeah.
belt already. So can you tell me, you're the perfect person to tell me,
Yeah.
how are they feeling backstage right now?
So, I mean, yeah, I've been in the ring 26 times myself, so I know exactly how they feel. I know what they put into it. I know the sacrifices that they've made. And with 50 grand at stake, they're going to be hungry. And they're big lads. They're big lads. They're going to hit hard.
So they're going to be nervous right now, eh?
100%,
Oh my gosh,
100%.
it's exciting night. We're going to be interviewing the celebrities, the influencers, the Instagram models, and all that's in between here.
I will
'Cause it's
be.
going to be a big night out. You will be. I know exactly where you're going. So it's going to be a great night. Stick with us. We'll be coming back to you lots throughout the evenings.
Yeah, Fincham won 50 grand, but he had to spend the summer in a villa with a bunch of strangers, didn't he? Right then, Ultimate Boxer 6, the heavyweights, gets underway after a short break. First up, I challenge you to find me a bigger character in heavyweight boxing than the Glaswegian that is Jay McFarlane. He takes on the tournament dark horse, former soldier Mark Bennett. Do not go anywhere.
Jay McFarlane. Thanks, shot. I'm a ghost. I'm hard to hit. And problems with partying and gambling. Fought in Madison Square Garden. Nobody's a heart like me. Can come back to anything.
Mark Bennett, great shot. Bad news, Bennett. I've always liked to terrorise, then just have the crack and bad news. None of these lads have seen what I've seen. I'm here, I'm ready for war. Let's go to battle.
Welcome back to Ultimate Boxer 6. It's the heavyweights. It is time for our first quarter-final. He's wearing more velvet than me. We hand you over to our brilliant MC for the evening, Mr. Terry Kavanagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on BT Sports from Planet Ice Arena, Manchester. This is Ultimate Boxer 6. This evening's boxing is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, and our official ringside is Steward in charge, Robin Smith. Your referees in charge of the action this evening are John Latham, Howard Foster, Michael Alexander, and Darren Sargentson. And your timekeepers are Gary Grain and Chris O'Connor. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It's raining outside, but it's going to get hot inside the arena. If you are ready to see some heavyweight action, make some noise! And now, making his way to the ring, please welcome Mark Bennett.
So what a moment for Mark Bennett, undefeated in his professional career to date, preparing for his 6th professional contest tonight. The former military man stands 6 feet 5 inches tall, the 3rd heaviest man in the tournament, stepping on the scales at yesterday's weigh-in at 18 stone 4 pounds 6 ounces. The man from Doncaster, looking to extend that perfect record and progress through to the next round of Ultimate Boxer 6.
And now making his way to the ring, Jay McFarland!
Gotta love Jay McFarland's sense of swag. A pink sombrero illuminating the half-light here at the Altrincham Ice Arena. Shadow boxing, beginning his walk towards the roped arena. Ahead of his 15th professional contest tonight. 14-fight record to date. He's got a record of 10 wins, 5 of them coming inside the distance for a 36% knockout ratio and 4 defeats. It's been a busy 2019 for him so far. There is plenty of cross-pollination in this contest, because a lot of these men have faced off in the boxing ring before, outside of the Ultimate Boxer format. There is the ghost, Jay McFarland, preparing for his first quarter-final of Ultimate Boxer 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for quarterfinal number 1 and scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in a heavyweight contest. Your referee at the bell, Mr. Michael Alexander, and your 3 judges scoring ringside are Darren Sargentson, Howard Foster, and John Latham. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, officially weighing in at 18 stone 4 pounds and 6 ounces. He brings to the ring a professional record of 5 wins, 1 by way of knockout and no losses. Tonight wearing the grey shorts from Doncaster, England, please welcome Mark "Bad News" Bennett! And introducing his opponent across the ring in the red corner, officially weighing in at 18 stone 9 pounds. He brings to the ring 10 wins, 5 by way of knockout and 4 losses. Tonight he wears the pink shorts from Glasgow, Scotland. Please welcome Jay "Ghost" McFarland! Referee will now give his final instructions to the boxers.
Right, lads, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of them are to defend yourselves at all times, all right?
So two heavily tattooed figures march out to center ring and begin to trade bombs straight away in this opening quarterfinal of Ultimate Boxer 6. No feeling out process in this one whatsoever. Both men let them go hooks, uppercuts, and haymakers in the opening 20 seconds of the bout.
And they don't want to take a step back. Whoever's taking a step back is being forced back. Body shots there by McFarland. They are throwing some wide shots. This is what Ultimate Boxing is about.
My goodness, ripping an uppercut through the middle of the right hook round the corner is Jay McFarland. Mark Bennett keen to hold on just to allow his head to clear and gain some respite from that furious two-shot fusillade from McFarland, but he comes forward once again. Pin the man against the ropes now, and he's still looking for openings in that defense. Hands down by his side. Well, he said that his nickname's the Ghost because despite weighing in at 18 stone 9 pounds, he said that he's elusive and difficult to hit. Now scoring well to the body and rolling beneath the shots that Bennett is winging out.
Yeah, and that's been Bennett's problem. He's throwing these wide shots inside with both hands. He's hooking with both hands when McFarland's close, and McFarland's able to get underneath all of them. So he's able to come up punching, and he's able to score on the way in.
Well, McFarland just asking for some assistance from referee Michael Alexander because he's got a problem.
If anybody's old enough to remember the old Mike Tyson's punch out, it's a bit of King Hippo there from McFarland. Not as big as pants up. He's supposed to hit him when his pants are down.
Midway through the opening round, and it has been an incident-filled round so far.
They're both landing. It's crazy. McFarland's had the better of the action, but Bennett's getting some shots himself.
Now McFarland putting out a jab.
At the pace you automatically figure was slow for these heavyweights, but the thing about McFarland is he has that ghost moniker. His defense is a little sharper. He's able to stay right there and not get hit as clean. These guys are forgetting. They came out throwing a few jabs, but neither of them is throwing a jab now. And when you get a little bit tired, your punches get a bit wider and you start to miss more shots. So you'd be better off using some straight shots. There's a jab by Bennett.
Left jab from Bennett. Nice uppercut from McFarland. McFarland goading his man, and there's that right uppercut underneath once again. That's proven to be a really effective shot for him.
Yeah, and in that moment, he's trying to actually time the jab there.
Beautiful left jab from Mark Bennett. And a good portion of the round for Bennett, who was bearing that gun shield. But McFarland just walking through the punches, scored with a hard two-shot salvo to the body. Closing seconds of the opening round. That's a hard right hand to the body of Bennett. And the final 3 shots of the round coming without reply from Jay McFarland. The Ghost didn't prove to be that elusive as the round went on, but he landed with plenty of eye-catching punches.
Yeah, and I think he was a bit more elusive than Bennett, and he had a bit more creativity in the tank. You know, he was able to kind of slip and slide, even juke and maneuver a little bit and create shots. There's a couple of body shots from McFarland. We saw both guys shooting those shots, but look at McFarland getting underneath the shots and coming up countering. The big difference there is Bennett wasn't able to always land those shots. He lands a good one there, but watch McFarland underneath shooting, underneath coming back with combinations. And that kind of was the difference in the round. There's a couple of slips of a jab there. You see, he manages to keep himself a little bit lower to the center of gravity. Bennett might be better off using a couple of uppercuts in there as McFarland bends his head down forward like that. But he would still have to be careful because McFarland comes up hooking. So you got to be careful even if you try to time that uppercut, that you're aware that you may have McFarland coming up with a hook.
So into the second round then, Mark Bennett, one of the less experienced operators here, but he's already beaten 2 of his Ultimate Boxer rivals, breathing through an open mouth.
Ron, and that's the thing. Bennett has actually never lost an amateur or pro fight. He doesn't have a lot of experience, but he's in unfamiliar territory right now as he's behind in this fight.
Yeah, the former military man who was medically discharged after being made partially deaf in his left ear during an operation in Afghanistan, went to Afghanistan in 2008 and was medically discharged in 2009. Said he struggled to return to City Street after his discharge, did all manner of jobs, and it was while he was on the doors in Doncaster somebody said, well, why don't you give boxing a try? From his own admission, he enjoys the fight. So he went down the charity route, then the white-collar route, and here he is as a pro now, undefeated. All of a sudden, McFarland looking a little bit disheveled and worse for wear.
And that's the thing. That's Bennett's best chance there too. Is trying to wear out McFarland. McFarland a bit soft around the belly. Maybe he's carrying a little bit too much weight. Try to see if you can wear him out. Right now, McFarland is a bit more creative.
So both men continuing to land heavy leather. Midway through the second round, the pace slowed somewhat, and that's unsurprising given the tempo at which they started. Now McFarland willing his way forward.
And Bennett seems a little bit fresher in this round, but he's not able to create the space he needs for his punches, and he's still missing.
Snaking left hand and followed by an arcing right from McFarland.
But that's the thing about McFarland, he's fatiguing a lot. I mean, his punches are now pushed out instead of snapping, and he's sort of leaning in a lot now. Bennett should probably take advantage when McFarland bends like that, and if you're not going to hit him with an uppercut, maybe you put your weight on top of him. Let's see.
Talks about the comparative inexperience of Mark Bennett, even though he is undefeated in charity boxing, white collar, and the pros in his fight pro career to this point. McFarland had a handful of fights as an amateur. Started at 8 years of age and went on to have 16 contests, winning 12 of them, and it was 12 wins, Paulie, 11 of them coming by way of stoppage, 9 in the first round. So even though he had that amateur pedigree, he didn't spend much time in the ring.
No, and it's the thing when you're turning pro a little bit older, you know.
Good left hook landed from Bennett, and then a combination. McFarland seemingly throwing punches underwater at this juncture of the second round. He has slowed considerably, carrying around that 18 stone, 9 pounds. Well, it's an awful mother load to carry.
It is, Ron, and in a night where you need your stamina. Bennett's literally won that round on stamina. I mean, McFarland, you can tell the way they fought in round one, has a bit more of a thinker. He's got a bit more angles to him. He's a better fighter, but Bennett, not to be undone in round two, was able to outwork him. And it's going to leave the third round all to play for, with McFarland very much fatiguing and tiring out. Let's see, here's some of the action with that round. The body language also counts for a lot. It's a good jab there by Bennett, but see, he's the one backing up McFarland. His punches landed now. It's a big difference because he was not able to land as consistently in the first round. Bennett's still trying to play the veteran role here, or in a veteran role that he can be at 21 years old, you know, trying to use those old veteran tricks, trying to goad Bennett, but now with the fatigue, he's not able to be as crisp and clean with his shots, sort of pushing out those wide punches.
3 minutes. Came all the way down here. Show him who's boss, all right? Show him who's boss. You are the boss. Yeah? This is yours. You want Jake? This is yours. Okay, Jake.
So into the third and final round then of a contest that could well be in the balance in this first quarterfinal of Ultimate Boxer 6. Jay McFarland, the ghost from Glasgow, had a very good first round. Mark Bennett willed his way back into the contest in the second, and both men have come out throwing furiously to begin the third.
Oh, they're coming out like they know they need the third round.
Bennett fighting off the ropes, goes by the nickname of the Ghost, of Bad News, and that's a nickname that he shares with Hanesu Twala.
If he would have fell through those ropes, it would have been Bad News. McFarland pushed him. McFarland really gave him a good push.
Ghost, of course, that's a nickname shared with former world title challenger Robert Guerrero. Again, thudding shots being landed, and McFarland not able to ride these punches here in the third round as he was in the first. The rolling is less evident. You can see the fatigue evident on the faces of both men as they're breathing through open mouths.
Those shorts don't fit him. I'm telling you, this is flashes of King Hippo.
Good right hand landed again, and now the fighters looking to exchange lead hands. The pace has slowed to glacial up there in the boxing ring. There is no lack of commitment, but the tempo has really dropped in this third and final round.
And this is where you need those good shots. This is where you need those straight shots, because it's hard. It's easier to throw them. They expend less energy, and a tiring fighter will have a harder time moving his head.
So midway through the third and final round, big punches being landed to both body and head by both men. McFarland looking to target the torso. Bennett using shots around the corner and underneath to good effect.
This is trying to still up for grabs. Both guys have done pretty good work, leaving it all in there.
Well, remember, whoever progresses
has
They hope to reach the final. Yeah, they've got to make that recovery for the semi-final first of all. And both men are laying absolutely everything on the line here. McFarlane trying to get onto the front foot, but struggling to close the distance. A little bit of naughty work with the left elbow. Bennett trying to remain composed under the face of this, in the face of this front foot pressure by the boxer in pink. You can see that both boxers really showing the effects of the pace and the punches here. And these final 30 seconds could well be crucial in determining the outcome of this contest in the event that we go to the final bell, Paulie.
I think so, Ron. I mean, I still think this last round is up for grabs. But as a matter of fact, if you had 4 rounds in this fight, they might both fall on their face. That's how tired they look to me. Let's see who can pull this out.
And again, it remains tit for tat. McFarlane on the front foot. Bennett trying to fight his way off the ropes. Both men desperately tired up there in the ring. And they have given absolutely everything in pursuit of a place in the semi-final. Jay McFarlane in the pink shorts had a very good opening round, but there was a terrific response by Mark Bennett in the second. And then in the third, both boxers displaying bags of commitment and left it all in the boxing ring in pursuit of a final 4 place.
It's going to be tough to call. I hate to be a judge. I probably edged Bennett in the third round by a little bit, so I probably have him winning 2-1, but that third round was really, really difficult as both guys were tired, both guys were sloppy. Both guys were really, really pushing as much as they could. Some of the action from that last round, a good body shot there by McFarlane. The good thing McFarlane was doing there, he almost pushed Bennett through the ropes. The good thing McFarlane was doing, and it helps with body language to the judges, is he was pushing back Bennett a lot in the last round. I don't know if he was landing more punches, but there, although there's a good salvo there, he was pushing Bennett back a lot, and I think that's going to also be crucial, possibly, with the body language of the fight, because the third round was close.
So we're going to be going to the scorecards of Darren Sargentson, Howard Foster, and John Latham. Terry Kavanagh just waiting for those scorecards to be tallied up. Nervous moments for both boxers now, because remember, these novice professionals in the early stage of the career looking to use not only this platform to propel their career, but looking to get that lion's share of the $50,000 prize purse that is up for grabs here at Ultimate Boxer. Jay McFarlane, who has fought on the grand stage of Madison Square Garden when he was on the undercard of Triple G against Danny Jacobs in his third contest. But here, he is very much part of the headline act. Lost that night against Matt McKinney in what was the third contest for Jay McFarlane. Here he is beneath the ring lights at the Altrincham Ice Arena, opposed to the Mecca that is Madison Square Garden, and how he would love to appear here at least another time tonight by having his hand raised as the victor in this quarter-final. But Mark Bennett has the same designs, and that is why both of them pursued a place in the semis with such fantastic fervor over the course of 3 3-minute rounds in that opening quarter-final. Terry Kavanagh is in position and just about ready to give us the official verdict at the conclusion of this first quarter-final in Ultimate Boxer 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings an end to quarterfinal number 1, and after 3 rounds we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Sargentson scores the bout 29-28, McFarlane. Judge Foster scores the bout 29-28, Bennett. And Judge Latham scores the bout 29-28, declaring your winner by split decision. Fighting out of the blue corner, Mark Bennett!
So Mark Bennett has his hand raised as the victor, but the scorecard reflecting just outside that contest was, Paulie, 29-28 for all 3 judges, but crucially, 2 of them favouring the work of Mark Bennett, and it is the man in the grey shorts who progresses through to the semi-final. Jay McFarlane eliminated, but he played his part in what was a really keenly contested quarter-final.
Yeah, and a great start to the tournament. You know, these 2 guys gave everything they had. You really couldn't figure out who was going to win until the very end of the fight. So it's close. McFarlane's going to think he won the fight, which obviously you can tell by his body language he does. But it was a very close fight. Could have won either way.
Well, the winner is standing by with Layla. Let's hear his immediate post-fight thoughts.
I'm joined by our first winner of the evening through to the semi-final. Bad news, Mark Bennett. Congratulations, an absolute slugfest towards the end. An explosive first round and a split decision, which was very tight. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was a close fight. I mean, I seem to make hard work of every opponent I get in, but I seem to edge it towards the end. I'm warmed into it now towards the end of the rounds. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I feel comfortable. It was a good fight. I'm
glad you said you warmed into it. It was an explosive first round. Tell me about the first round, because that was a tough one on you.
Yeah, it was a tough round. I think Jay nicked it. He come out faster, he come out sharper. And fair play to the bloke. But I think I took round 2 and round 3, and like you say, it was a slugfest. But as the fight got on, I warmed into it, and hard lines to Jay, like, nice kid. But there we go.
I like that you said nice kid, because in round 2 he was grinning at you, dropped his hand and calling you on. Did that pull your foot forward as well?
No, I mean, he likes to showboat. I'm not a showboater. That's his bag, that's not mine. I mean, he walked onto a few of my right hands while his hands were down, so... But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
Fantastic first win, really powerful for you, especially because now you've got the longest amount of rest to come. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, that sounds tremendous.
Exactly what you wanted. Congratulations, go rest.
Thank you, Ulla, thank you.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Bad news, Mark Bennett through to the semi-final.
Anthony Crolla and Amir Khan with me ringside here in Manchester. The first round was exactly what we wanted. It went off like a rocket, Amir.
It was, it was very exciting, but I have to say the fight was very, very close. I mean, both fighters, especially in the first round, came guns blazing, throwing massive shots in. I mean, I thought the fight was going to end the way it was going. I mean, big bombs were being thrown to the body, to the head. And, I think the first round fallen, in my opinion, took that round. But overall, both fighters give it their all. I mean, this is what people want to see. This is what makes it exciting.
This is in the second round, and you can see, by the end of the third round, he was absolutely gutted when that result came in. McFarlane. He thought he'd won it.
It was so close and understandably so. I mean, Amir, you thought McFarlane had just nicked it. I thought Bennett had just nicked it, but I wouldn't have argued either way.
Look at his face here.
That's it. He gave it, and do you know why? He gave it absolutely everything, as did Bennett. I just thought Bennett was a little bit neater in the last round, which probably swayed judges, but I wouldn't have argued if it went for McFarlane. And I think Paulie mentioned it. McFarlane's got skills, and if he would have had a little bit more in the tank, then you would have favoured him.
He needed some shorts that fitted him, didn't he? His Calvin Kleins were coming down.
But I have to say, I mean, for the night to start the way it did,
what a fight to start
the night, So I just feel like the other fights are going to be as exciting, and I just can't wait for the next one now.
Layla said it as well. Bennett, he's going to want some rest now, because that was a hard fight. We talked about the passage to the final, and now could that come back to haunt him in the semis or even the final? It could do.
There we go, we're up and running in Manchester. In terms of the route to the final, then Mark Bennett is underway. He advances into the semi-final, where he will take on the winner of our second quarter-final between former rugby league professional Josh Sandlin and Muay Thai champion Kamil Sokolowski of Poland. And if their stare-off was anything to go by, this is going to be intense.
Kamil Sokolowski, white shorts. My nickname is Sokol. In England mean falcon. I do my talking in the ring. They will all feel Polish power.
Josh Sandlin, black shorts. I'll just give 110%. Watch out. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Don't blink. Every fight, jam-packed. You all right, Veer?
Ultimate Boxer 6 coming to you live from Manchester. We're live on BT Sport. I hope you're enjoying it. Plenty more to come. One fight down. Mark Bennett through. Time for quarterfinal number 2. Over to our MC, Terry Kavanagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, Kamil Sokolowski.
I got this.
Well, here is the most experienced man in the field, Kamil Sokolowski, from Poland, based in Devon. He brings to the ring a 25-fight record. 8 victories, 3 of them coming inside the distance, 15 defeats and 2 draws. He's got 134 rounds of experience on his ring resume. How significant will that time in the ropes arena prove to be here in this explosive format of the Ultimate Boxer?
And now making his way to the ring, Josh Sandland.
Here comes no nonsense, Josh Sandland, the lightest man in this heavyweight tournament, stepping on the scales at 16 stone, 4 pounds, 10 ounces. A compact operator, just around 5 feet 10 inches tall, but because of those lack of inches, he's a ferocious fighter on the inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is quarterfinal number 2 on the card, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in a heavyweight contest. Your referee at the bell, Mr. John Latham. And now introducing, fighting out of the blue corner, he officially weighed in at 17 stone even and making his 26th pro appearance inside the ring tonight, wearing the white shorts from Poland by way of Devon, England. Please welcome Kamil Sokolowski. And introducing his opponent across the ring in the red corner, he officially weighed in at 16 stone, 4 pounds and 10 ounces. He brings to the ring 4 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. Tonight wearing the black shorts from Halifax, Yorkshire, England. Please welcome Josh Sandland. Referee will now give his final instructions to the boxers.
Right, lads, you're expecting you both to obey me instructions at all times. When I tell you to break, you both break clean. Defend yourselves at all times, and the best luck to you both. Touch gloves, touch them up.
So it's 2 shaven-headed sluggers going toe-to-toe in this second quarterfinal of Ultimate Boxer 6. The tattooed figure wearing the white shorts is Kamil Sokolowski, man based in Barnstable in Devon. But coming out with a snaking up jab and a beautiful right hand around the corner is Josh Sandland wearing the black. Josh Sandland competing in just his 7th professional contest tonight, who's led to this point 4 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw, and he holds a win over the quarterfinalists who were just eliminated. Jay McFarlane outpointed over 6 rounds up in Glasgow in September of this year, so even though he has very little experience, Paulie, he's certainly not afraid to mix it up.
And he's come out here in an aggressive manner, trying to back up Sokolowski with like you said, a snaking jab. It's a really sneaky jab on the up, you know, and Sokolowski's trying to get himself back into the fight, or into the round, but so far pretty good control by Sandland, even though neither of them has landed a huge shot. A more technical fight than our first one so far at this point in the fight anyway.
Indeed, and it's between boxers at opposite ends of the experience spectrum. Just 30 rounds under the belt of Josh Sandland, the former rugby league pro.
And I tend to feel that these guys with not a lot of experience sometimes have advantages in this kind of format because they're used to the amateur system of going short rounds. Sokolowski's got a lot of fights, and he's been in with some good veterans like Dillian White and whatnot. So, you know, maybe he's used to a bit of a slower pacing. Sandland right now is carrying the pace in the first round. Again, not a lot has landed cleanly, but Sandland has been the one able to back up Sokolowski and dictate the pace of the fight, of the round at least so far.
15 losses on Sokolowski's record. He's only been stopped twice, and that was by Dillian White. He was in action in Saudi Arabia last week, and also Ricky Hatton's prodigy, man who lost to Daniel Dubois, Nathan Gorman. That's a good right hand from Sokolovsky, and that certainly got Sandland's attention. Sandland steps back into the pocket, but takes another right hook. Sokolovsky followed up with the same shot, but was wide of the mark. So Sokolovsky, the veteran, just beginning to find his range and his rhythm now. Nice left hand landed.
Yes, he's trying to get a little more accurate there. He needed to get going. Let's see now. Sandland having a little bit of trouble in the clinches. Seems like Sokolovsky's physically stronger, and he's not letting Sandland out the way he wants to.
Sokolovsky weighing in at 17 stone even. Josh Sandland, the lightest fighter in the tournament. 16 stones, 4 pounds, 10 ounces.
Sokolovsky's a bit front foot heavy. He means he keeps the weight of his stance on his front foot, and that kind of stance can get you hit with a lot of jabs and right hands. And he's taking a right hand there in that exchange.
Oh, Sandland visibly bit down on his gun shield and marched his way back into the fray. He was met head-on by Sokolovsky, but it's interesting, just above our commentary position here, it is Sokolovsky who is keen to initiate and maintain the clinch at the close of that first round.
Yeah. See some of that action from that round. You see Sandland shooting those overhand shots. Sokolovsky tried to punch in there, but not a lot landed. See, there was probably the best shot of the round, that little short right hand by Sokolovsky, but I don't know how good of a shot it was, or if it was just balance. As you saw, Sandland his feet were square when he took that shot, so it could also be a little bit of balance. But nonetheless, Sandland's best shot of the round, probably best shot of the round by both. But by Sokolovsky's best shot of the round. But Sandland is a guy who probably controlled the pace of the round. So
the familiar fight figure of Chris Aston in the corner of Josh Sandland, and you know that if you come out of his gym in Huddersfield, you're going to be in fantastic condition. So one suspects that the 3-round pace won't be much of a problem for Josh Sandland. Chris Aston, the father of former British champ Tyrone Nurse.
Yeah, and he's also the smallest guy in the tournament, as you mentioned, Ron, so that can help his stamina. He doesn't have to carry around as much weight.
Chopping left hook landed by Sokolovsky, who's just putting some more leverage onto his shots now. The two of them engage in a heavy fisted trade-off right at center ring. But again, Sandland showing his determination, proving that he won't be physically overpowered, because he took some heavy single shots there and stepped right back into the pocket. Beautiful left-handed landed by Sokolovsky once again. He's remaining poised as he looks to pick his punches and establish that lead left hand, Sokolovsky.
One of these guys could really use a feint right here. As you see that both guys looking to just shoot shots right when they get in the pocket. If somebody uses a feint, I'm telling you, the other guy will bite on it and he'll be able to take advantage. And you see they get right in range and they both throw punches. They get right in range and they're both looking to throw punches.
Mention the fact that Sandland, as a former rugby league pro, was a really talented player, played with Wakefield, Huddersfield Giants. But while at the Huddersfield Giants, there was miscommunication, and he ended up leaving the club and having his contract terminated. Good right hand to the body during that exchange from Sandland. Again, he marches forward determinedly over the front foot, launches a lead left hook, countered by the same shot from Sokolovsky. But to demonstrate the man's enterprise, he put highlight reel clips of himself up onto YouTube. Ventured down to Australia and got picked up by the Gold Coast Titans in the National Rugby League down there. Good right hand landed from Sandland. Big shots being exchanged at mid-range as both fighters land looping lefts.
Yeah, sometimes Sandland does come up, and Sokolovsky's been able to touch him here and there with a loopy shot. He's got to be careful when he comes up that he doesn't come straight up like that. He can walk inside, he can come up into a punch.
Sokolovsky, 33 years of age, and we're just seeing some veteran tricks from him, Paulie, because he's fighting in spurts. When he lets his hands go, when he has some success, then he ties the man up, as he's doing here, and he takes him precious lungfuls of oxygen just to get his energy levels back up.
Yeah, and those are all veteran tactics, which you would expect not to be able to work in a short fight like that, but he's physically strong, and when he ties up Sandland can't really move a lot.
Josh Sandland's Australian odyssey in rugby league was curtailed when his mum was diagnosed with breast cancer. So he returned to the UK, and his mother received that diagnosis. Good right hand landed by Sokolovsky. And thankfully, his mother, Julie, has just passed her 5-year remission date. Good right uppercut landed by Sokolowski, but again looking to tie his man up. Good footwork by Sandland to spin himself off the ropes, but he finds himself pinned against the strands once again as the bell sounds.
You saw what Sokolowski was doing at the end of that round, putting his head in the face of Sandland. That's uncomfortable as is, but when you got a bald head in your face, it's even more uncomfortable because you're just getting skull.
Skull and stubble, perhaps, depending on when he shaved it up.
Exactly, I can tell you all about that when my fault Miguel Cotto on the same thing. And there's some of the action from that round. You see, again, a lot of the action, Sandland likes to start with that loopy right hand. Even Sokolowski uses those old loopy shots when he's close enough. As you saw there, Sandland using a jab to his advantage. Some good highlights there for Sandland, but Sokolowski also did some good work that round.
Cuts there as well, we don't like it. Okay, the uppercut is there, but pick your shots nicely. And shape. If your hands are up, he can't score, he's only throwing ups. Okay? Let's go, mate. Let's get ready, mate.
Gavin Lane from the Barham Boxing Club, where Sokolowski trains in Devon with those final instructions. And we're into the third and final round. This second quarter-final is being fought at a slower tempo than the first. There's been some intelligent punch-picking from both boxers, and now they are showing the feints that you were imploring them to demonstrate earlier on in the contest. They're showing them here to begin the third round. Long looping left hook landed by Sandland.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to waste enough time to be able to start the round later so they could put it all in the second half of the round. Oh, good jab there by Sokolowski.
Landed by Sokolowski. Sandland walking onto it to double up the impact. And again, more veteran moves in evidence as Sokolowski banging his man to the ribcage.
Right here's where you want the paint. Right after that break, you're looking to get in there. Right there. Oh, good shot there by Sandland.
Beautiful right hand by Sandland, and again it comes in off a wide overarching trajectory. Sokolowski looked to respond with the same shot straight away, but couldn't find the range. Beautiful left jab once again from Sokolowski, who ties his man up to buy some time, refill those energy tanks, and then come again with a burst of punches. And it speaks to his experience and his veteran savvy that he's not panicking, even though it's a truncated 3-round contest. Yep. He's willing to fight in spurts and take his rest when they can come.
He's got a plan. He thought this one through.
Sandland just a little bit disorganized as he made his way out of punching distance. Sokolowski wide with a left hook, but these clinches are becoming more frequent now, suggesting that Sokolowski is really feeling the pace just beyond the midpoint of the third and final round.
Yeah, and Sandland really try to get to the body here for about 30 seconds of this final 70, 75 seconds of this fight, and maybe he can set himself for the good shot for the head. But Sokolowski's clearly a little bit more tired, and Sandland walking right to him. He can tell his conditioning is fine. Just he doesn't know how to create that space.
We mentioned the heavyweight merry-go-round, which has seen Josh Sandland with a win over Jay McFarlane, who was eliminated in the first quarter-final. Kamil Sokolowski has a terrific win over Nick Webb. So again, lots of familiarity. There's a smaller pool of heavyweights all around the world when you look at them compared to other weight classes. The action heating up here in the final 40 seconds. But again, it's Sokolowski who is looking to cling on. And this could well cost him when you're talking about body language and what the judges like to see. Sure, there's been some quality in spurts, but there's been an awful lot of this, and usually it's been initiated by the man in the white shorts.
Yeah, you know, it could come to his advantage. I'll tell you where it could be his advantage is he lands a shot and he doesn't let Sandland respond all the time. So the last thing the judges see every time is a shot Sokolowski lands. You know who was really good at that? John Ruiz back in the day. He used to sport that. He used to land the eye-catching shot and then hold you. So the judges can never see your response, so you never get a chance to respond. So let's see how this fight played out. But this was, because of all that clinching and holding, it's very tough to score.
Most certainly is. Moments of quality and evidence from both boxers, but plenty of clinching on display as well. Now, infighting an art in itself, of course, but we got some real clear looks at Sokolowski. You can see how heavily he's breathing after 3 rounds of work, but he was looking to tie the man up like a vice and not let him work away at all.
Yeah, he was artistically holding on and fighting on the inside by holding. There's a hard jab there by Sokolowski on him making his way in and then holding. Then maybe trying to get a cheap shot there. There's a shoulder by Sandland. while he was trying to make his way in there. I'm surprised these guys didn't clinch because there was a lot of rushing on the inside. There it is again. I'm surprised these guys didn't bash heads. There's a lot of rushing on the way in. There's a clinch by Sokolovsky to end the fight. So you can see what he was doing. He was trying to prevent the responses from Sandlin.
We often talk about exchanges and first and third boxing. He was looking to make it one and done. Land that shot, tie the man up, ensure that the counter doesn't come.
Yeah. And I guess that not only conserves him for this fight, but if he's able to win, it conserves him for the next fight as well.
So will this strategy, landing a shot and then clinching, pay off for Kamil Sokolovsky, or will the judges prefer the work of Josh Sandland? Again, both men landed some eye-catching punches. The right hand was a good weapon for Sandland. The jolting left jab was an effective shot for Sokolovsky.
Yeah, there's another call for the call, I'll tell you that.
So Terry Kavanagh up into position. Josh Sandland just with a few words from Chris Aston. Now they're both at centre ring, so we can head up to tonight's MC, Terry Kavanagh, and get the particulars at the conclusion of this second quarter-final.
Ladies and gentlemen, after quarter-final number 2 comes to an end, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 29-28 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Josh Sandland.
So Josh Sandland has eliminated the most experienced man in the field. The former rugby league pro from Halifax progresses through to the semi-final with a unanimous point decision win. It was a narrow one, 29-28 for all 3 judges, and we can hear the thoughts of the victorious Josh Sandland now. He's standing by with Layla.
Josh, congratulations. I'm right over here, my friend. How are you feeling? A little bloodied nose, but a technical and impressive fight.
Not to worry about.
How was that first round for you? Walk me through that first round.
Yeah, no worries. I'll go again now. Get ready and we'll go again. That's it. That's what we do.
Well, you are going to go again shortly against Mark Bennett in the semi-final. Did you watch that first fight of his?
No, I don't really watch much. I just concentrate on myself. It was a bit poor. We need to work on stuff now, and I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm doing wrong. So.
Tell me, did that go to plan, and what was your game plan going into that?
I knew he were a fast star. I knew he were a tough lad, very tough. But I beat him. That's the main thing. That's all I come to do, win.
You did. Congratulations. You meet the most experienced man here. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate everybody that's come out to support me. Thank you. Thank you.
More fights to come, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Sandland.
He's a character, isn't he, Josh Sandland? Because I was telling the guys during the fight there a bit of his backstory, that he, went out to Australia having been rejected by rugby league, and then he had to come back because his mum had cancer. It's quite a story, and to be here tonight and into the first semi-final, it was a far more technical quarter-final than the first one, Amir.
It was, yeah. There's a lot more technique in this fight. Both of them were boxing. I mean, you would never think Sandland would be him being a smaller guy, up against someone that's a lot bigger than him, seems a lot stronger, looks a lot stronger than him, especially with the muscle bone.
In the pace.
Exactly, and he was the one pushing his opponent back. So I've said Sandland put on a great performance there. He boxed well. He was quite sharp. He was, he's very technical, which I like. What I liked more about him was doing the little side steps to a side when his opponent had him on the ropes. He was getting them little sneaky shots in, them uppercuts in. So yeah, I think he's going to get far, and him being the lightest guy in the tournament as well
will come into play.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's got to be said, I mean, look, Ron McIntosh said it in commentary there, but this is a guy who's only been stopped, Sokolovsky, by Daniel Dubois and Dillian White, 2 superstars of heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, and you could see that. He was the better boxer out the 2, but did he just get a little bit out-hustled? Listen, it was very, very close again. A fight that probably could have gone either way, but I don't think the judges probably didn't like the spoiling tactics in Sokolovsky. You had Paulie mentioned John Ruiz was very good on the inside, but Sokolovsky's a bit more obvious with the hitting and holding, and I think it wasn't too pretty on the judges' eyes. Listen, I wouldn't have argued if he got it, but I have no complaints for the decision whatsoever.
Right, let's hear from a quarter-finalist who is coming up here in Manchester on Ultimate Boxer 6. Bunsey has been speaking to Manchester's very own Chris Healy.
It's a bit chaotic back here in the dressing rooms. That's classic Ultimate Boxer style. I'm with Chris Healy. Chris, you're a local lad. You've got a bit of pressure on you, so I'm assuming you've got people here, but you're a big boy, and you're the underdog, or one of the big underdogs in the tournament.
Yeah, I think I've always been the underdog. I'm used to it now. It don't bother me. It don't faze me at all. Yeah, so I'm ready to go now.
Now, in Ultimate Boxer, being the underdog often is an advantage. You know that. I'm not just saying that to you. That's actually true.
Yeah, I think it is. I think people overlook what I can do, so I'll be able to show it tonight.
And if guys are fighting guys who they've already beaten, they tend to, let's tell the truth, look at the next fight and not concentrate on the job at hand, whereas you've got a little bit of revenge on mine.
That's what I mean. I think I'm just looking at Nick. I'm not thinking about any other fights yet until I get through him. So he might be overlooking straight to the final. So
and that's a sensible way to do it. One fight at a time, Ultimate Boxer style.
Definitely, that's the way I'm doing it.
So what can we expect from your quarter with Nick Webb?
You're going to expect me to just box his head off. That's what you're going to see. I know he's going to come out swinging because he thinks he can hurt me again. But now I'm trained for this, and now I can dance around him.
Healy, Manchester, box his head off. I love it. Ultimate Boxer 6. Thanks.
There we go, another character here for you tonight in Manchester. Semi-final one decided then. Mark Bennett is taking on Josh Sandland. And quarter-final 3 up next. It features Manchester's very own Chris Healy, the man we just heard from, up against the impressive Nick Webb, who says that he saw the light heavyweights in London and wanted a slice of it. And here he is. See you after the break.
Nick Webb, red shorts. I'm the most ferocious fighter here. I'm the beast. When you get in that ring with me, you're going straight down. That robe's coming home with me.
Chris Healy, blue shorts. Nickname's Hurricane Healy. I broke my back to get here. I've got nothing else to lose, so you don't want to be in the ring with me. Come fight night.
Welcome back to Manchester for Ultimate Boxer 6. 2 fights down, 2 very different fights, but we have 2 semi-finalists already. Next up, quarter-final 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, now making his way to the ring, Nick Webb.
I'm a champion. I'm a killer, I'm a savage. Been that way since the beginning. Me and Twizzy really spitters. Why the hell is y'all pretending? We just youngins on the loose. Ain't no need for
So standing at the rear of the arena here at the Planet Ice Arena in Altrincham is Nick Webb, the heaviest boxer in the tournament, 6 feet 5 inches tall, and taking a walk up the 3 steps for the first time in 2019. Bit of a difficult ending to 2018. He's lost 2 of his last 3, but he's revitalized and ready to go here in Ultimate Boxer as he prepares for the 3rd quarterfinal in the heavyweight tournament.
1,
And now making his way to the ring, Chris Healy!
Well, Chris Healy is the second heaviest boxer in Ultimate Boxer 6. So the boards of the boxing ring going to be severely tested up there tonight. Both men over 18 stone, 10 pounds, and this is a rematch between men who have faced off before in the professional ranks. Their first encounter was scheduled for 6, but suffice to say it didn't go the distance, and it was Nick Webb who prevailed with a third-round stoppage on that occasion. How will this one go tonight in a contest that is scheduled for 3 here in this third quarterfinal of Ultimate Boxer 6?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is quarterfinal number 3, and once again, we are scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in a heavyweight contest. Your referee at the bell, Mr. Howard Foster. And now, making his way from the blue corner, he weighed in at 18 stone, 12 pounds, and 12 ounces. He brings to the ring a professional record of 13 wins, 1 knockout, and 2 losses. Wearing the red shorts tonight from Surrey, England, please welcome Nick Webb! And introducing his opponent across the ring in the red corner, officially he weighed in at 18 stone, 10 pounds, and 8 ounces. He brings to the ring 8 wins, 2 by way of knockout, and 6 losses. Tonight wearing the blue shorts from Stockport, Lancashire, England, please welcome Chris Healy! Referee will now give his final instructions to the boxers.
Okay, fellas, you both know the rules. Keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both you want your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
So these two familiar rivals facing off for the second time in the professional ranks, a rematch of their first encounter from January 2017. And on that occasion, it was the man wearing the pink shorts tonight. That is Nick Webb, nicknamed Wild Webb, who got the third round stoppage, but not until after Chris Healy was using his southpaw skills to box very well on the outside. I was commentating ringside that night up in Preston, and it was a competitive affair where Healy was boxing very well indeed, but the finish was emphatic from Nick Webb, who is a very heavy-handed hitter indeed. Of his 13 victories, 11 of them have come inside the distance for a 73% knockout ratio.
Yeah, and Healy's fighting like he knows that, obviously he does, and he's trying to keep that distance, trying to control the fight from the outside. And, you know, our first southpaw of the night as well.
Both of these men, very accomplished amateurs. He's ringside in Colchester when Chris Healy was runner-up in the English 91-kilogram final when he lost to Anthony Joshua's cousin, Benayemi. Benayemi winning the 91-kilogram crown that night on a same night where Anthony Joshua successfully retained his title out in Colchester, retaining the crown that he won the year before. What progress he has made in the pro ranks as he regained the unified heavyweight championship of the world last week. Both men scoring effectively with straight shots in the opening round, and plenty of feinting in evidence as well. Nick Webb was also an accomplished amateur, an ABA finalist in 2013, and was outpointed by Joe Joyce in the Final Four the following year. So these are two men who have come through the traditional, what was then vest and head guard route, Paulie, and big things were expected of both. Here they find themselves in the same contest, the same tournament on the stage of Ultimate Boxer 6.
Yeah, you can tell there's more pedigree to these guys. You can tell they've had a little bit of experience in the amateurs. Well, here they were looking to let the big shots go.
Well, there was a big right hand landed during the course of that exchange by Chris Healy. And remember, the 2 stoppage losses on Nick Webb's record have been inside the distance. You were ringside for one of them, Paulie, against Dave Allen, the White Rhino.
Yeah, well, the White Rhino had a bit of momentum during his career at one point.
Stoppage coming in July of 2018. It's a dramatic loss down at the O2 Arena, and rebounded with a win over Dorian Darch, but then was stopped in the third by the quarterfinalist who has just been eliminated in December of last year, Kamil Sokolovsky, and it's his first time back in the ring since that fight. And there's a looping right hand landed from down by his belt line, but it did get through from Nick Webb. Now both men standing in the pocket and looking to let their hands go. Healy, while Healy has his left hand, his right hand tied up, Webb was working away with his free hand. The round coming to life in the closing stages, some heavy shots landed by both.
Yeah, you know, it started out tactically probably for the first 3 quarters of the round. You know, you saw Healy looking to keep his distance, and Webb trying to close it with some loopy shots, sometimes a bit too loopy, but at the end we got a good exchange. Saw a good body shot there by Nick Webb as well in that exchange. We'll see.
Bring the right hook up, right uppercut, bring it up, the long one, okay? Off his jab. You're trying too hard. You're trying to load up and catch it. He's not there. He's just moving, okay? He's giving you a bit of easy movement.
So Louis Arrowsmith in the corner of Chris Healy, the familiar figure of Scott Welch, the former British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, giving the instructions to Nick Webb over in the blue corner. Second round underway. Webb begins it with a solid left jab, and he's on the front foot now. Maybe heard Scott Welch telling him that you're not to load up, you're looking to load up, just let the punches flow. Healy comes forward with a double phase attack because his first few shots fell short, but once Webb's back touched the ropes, well, Healy had some success.
Yeah, and that's a key right there. If Healy can back Webb up a little bit, Webb doesn't fight going backwards. You can saw right there, he takes steps back, but he has to plant himself in order to throw a shot. So you can put him on the defensive a bit more, you can take some advantage.
So we've got a cut that is being sustained by Chris Healy. The doctor's been called into action, checking the ear of Chris Healy, but thankfully all appears to be okay. Oh, now this is always unpleasant to see. That's not a knockdown. Nick Webb getting his foot caught in the advertising Toblerone on the perimeter of the ring. And when you see athletes of this size hitting the canvas, it's always worrying when the legs buckle like that. See Nick Webb wearing a knee brace on his right knee, and he's being put under pressure here by Healy, who's marauding while his man was pinned to the ropes.
Yeah, some good work being done this round by Healy. He's backing up Webb, and like I said earlier, when Webb backs up, he's not really able to be active or keep active.
Remember, this Webb's first outing in the ring in 2019. So there may be a little bit of ring rust to shed as well. And just work to get his timing. Shots being landed to the top of the head by both boxers. Webb looking to come forwards, looking for that big backhand behind a solid left jab. Talked about the amateur credentials of both boxers. Chris Healy first went to a gym at 8. Boxing is very much in his blood. His granddad did it, his father did it, so there was always a natural interest. Nudging shots landed with the right hand by Webb, also a bit of head going in as well.
Yeah, both guys kind of pitter-pattering in there.
Oh, that's a solid right hand, but his foot wasn't beneath him, Webb, because it was being caught up in the advertising banner on the perimeter of the ring once again. Webb looking for arcing punches at mid and short range. Healy looking to counter down the middle, and now taking the time to complain to Howard Foster about reckless use of the head from Nick Webb. So Healy remaining composed. That's a nice right hand landed by Webb, which beat him to the punch and caused Webb to become disorganized and lose his boxing stance momentarily. So nice lateral movement being demonstrated by Healy, who is moving away from the big backhand of Nick Webb by circling to his right. Webb trapping his man to the ropes, but not able to sustain an attack there, looking for a big left hand to the body, but he was wide of the margin by some distance. Oh, plenty of effort and industry in evidence during the course of that second round.
Stupid shots as you're always trying to knock him out. Stop doing it.
When you're in close, bam, 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 3 or 4 shots, but no power. You don't need to hit him hard. You're battering him, man. When you're in there, you get him on the ropes, little step, but not too much so he can get his hooks off. Bam, 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 bam. Will the gun, yeah? When he gets close.
There's that action from that last round, and there's Webb's clear slip on the advertisement. So he's backing up, and then he kind of stuck his foot underneath that rope and put the advertisement. And here's some of the work on the inside. They were just holding with one hand and shooting with the other hand. And when you see the head of Webb with his hair. The hair can be a bit distracting as well, because you can get in your face, you can get in your eyes, you can get in your mouth.
To the judges, because we may not get it, okay?
Well, sobering final words from Scott Welsh. He said, do not leave this to the judges because you may not get it. And in stark contrast, over in the red corner, Chris Healy's man, Louis Arrowsmith, telling him, don't look to hit this guy hard, just beat him with speed and volume. So contrasting sets of instructions being given by the corners, reflecting the balance of this contest so far from their perspective.
And very awkward in there. Sometimes it's harder to clinch with a lefty and a righty together. You know, their dominant hands are on the same side. Oh, good shot there by Healy. Nice straight left hand.
Beautiful southpaw left landed by Healy. Webb, increased urgency about his work now, but he's not really finding the range with any sustained success to begin this third round. Looking to close the distance once more. Nice defensive maneuvers by Healy, who backed up, tucked up, and was able to repel that attack. Well, Webb retreating to the ropes and inviting pressure. Chris Healy obliged him and was able to score with some punches during the course of that combination.
Yes, and he's having himself a good round so far, Healy.
Big white right hand goes over the top. The left hook wasn't on target either from Nick Webb. Approaching the midpoint of this third and final round, and no doubt the final instructions from Scott Welsh ringing in his ears. He lands a good right hand at mid-range. That brings about a furious response from Healy while he was in the pocket. Tucks up tightly once again by bracketing his head with his hands, and then comes back with a beautiful double southpaw jab.
And now Webb feels the urgency this round, and he's starting to come forward, throwing some punches. Good hook there by Webb.
So Webb quickening his steps as he looks to close the distance with Chris Healy. Chris Healy remaining composed under fire, but he's got caught up in the ropes. Second fighter we've seen that happen to here during the course of Ultimate Boxer 6. Nick Webb unable to land at what would have been effectively a free shot. Howard Foster was right on point. So inside the final minute now, Chris Healy remaining very poised under the face of this pressure.
Webb has had himself a good pace, about 30-40 seconds, you know, after Healy started out the round very well. Let's see how this closes out.
Good left hand to the body a few moments ago by Webb. Heads clashing together on the inside once again. Webb burrowing away with punches to the body. That shot, the right hand was long from the boxer in scarlet, and he put everything into that attempted right hand but couldn't find a range. Southpaw left lands from Healy, and now the two men engaging in a trade on top of the logo. Closing seconds of this third quarter final. Both men looking to find a burst of quality. Nick Webb looking to fulfill the instructions of his coach and find a finishing shot.
Yeah, Webb wanting it more right now as we close out the round.
Very intense quarter final between these two familiar adversaries. There's just a bit of swelling around the right eye of Chris Healy. Nick Webb, to his credit, did come out with increased urgency in the third and final round, but both men feel that they have done enough to have their hand raised as the victor in this third quarter and progress through to the semi-final stage.
Yeah, and you see a cut also on the right ear of Healy. These guys were the opposite of the other fights. You know, they actually picked up the pace more in the last round than they had early on, you know? While the first two fights we saw the fights distinctively slowed down in the last round. You see the sharp left hand that Healy landed early on in the round. Backed up his man with a double left hand, a double jab, and then a left hand. And then you see some of the shots there, in and out by Nick Webb. He did that really well as the round went out. He started, instead of falling into clinches, he started throwing shots and looked kind of take that half step back and just coming back in with shots. And he was able to have a good second half of the round.
So unlike their first contest, up at the Guildhall in Preston back in January of 2017. This one going the distance. And remember, it's half the scheduled distance of their first encounter. And as I mentioned, before the curtailed finish in the third round, well, Chris Healy was boxing very well from the outside before getting stopped. And he was able to demonstrate those southpaw skills once again here. Are they going to be favoured by the 3 scoring judges? Got John Latham, Michael Alexander and Darren Sarginson, the officials who are presiding over this contest. Terry Kavanagh is in position in the neutral corner, and we can now get the official verdict to decide who is going through to the semi-final here at Ultimate Boxer 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of quarterfinal number 3, we go to the judges' scorecards once again. Judge Latham scores the bout 29-28, Webb. Judge Alexander scores the bout 29-28, Healy. And Judge Sarginson scores the bout 29-28 in favor of your winner by split decision, Nick Webb.
So Nick Webb, a split decision victor over Chris Healy. 29-28 for all 3 judges, but crucially, 2 of them favouring the work of the man in the scarlet shorts. His first outing in a boxing ring in 2019 is a successful one. Chris Healy bitterly disappointed because he was in that contest from opening bell to last. His body language suggests that he feels he had done enough to be declared as the victor, but it is Nick Webb who earns a repeat victory over Chris Healy, and it is he who goes through to the final 4.
Anthony Crawler and Amir Khan with me here ringside for Ultimate Boxer 6. You know Chris Healy really well, Manchester boy. The corner thought that he'd had it, he looked gutted again. We've seen that gutted face a few times tonight.
A few times, because every fight's been close, then where decisions where could have gone the other way and you wouldn't have moaned. Nick Webb finished the 3rd round very strong, and that's probably what swayed it for him. Again, would have been argued if Chris Healy got it. No problem, not. He moved lovely at times. I think he just needed to be a little bit more positive in that last round. But if you talked about the passage to the final, all 3 winners have been 3 very close, hard, tough fights. Now this 4th quarter-final, they've got to be licking the lips watching those first 3.
And you've got to, you've got to feel good, haven't you, for someone like Nick Webb, because he had fights against Nathan Gorman, who's in the house tonight, and Daniel Dubois. He had the contract signed, never came to anything. Tonight's a real chance for him, Amir.
That's right, you know, and it's going to be a massive chance for him if he comes through this and wins this tournament. I think he's got big fights ahead of him. And I have to say, I mean, all these fights that we've just seen are very evenly matched. There's some good fights there, and especially in the last fight, I mean, we saw some good boxing skills from both fighters, so it's just a very hard fight to call.
2 good amateurs who had success in national finals, and I think we saw a bit of pedigree then.
He's standing by. Let's hear from Nick Webb. He's with Paulie and Layla.
Yes, Nick Wild Webb with me now, fresh off that win. Nick, you've put this to bed, really, because that was a rematch. You've beaten him before. How does it feel to put that properly to bed?
Yeah, it feels good that I got the win. That's the main thing. I didn't fire up like I needed to. I'm disappointed in my performance, but got the win, and that's the main thing.
You know, sometimes during these fights we have to warm up, but you don't have a lot of time to warm up. But it seemed like in the 3rd round, especially in the second half of the round, you picked up the pace. Did you realize you might have needed that second half of the round? Because he started the 3rd round really well.
I felt like I was winning the fight all the way through. I feel I was hitting him, he wasn't hitting me. He had marks on his face, I had no marks on mine. So I was always thought I was winning, but I wanted to stop him, to be honest. But getting the win is is the main thing, so I'm happy.
That 3rd round, we heard the instruction from your coaches telling you to not let it go to the judges. Were you a little worried there?
Yeah, I tried to not let it go to the judges. I just had to start boxing him. I started finding my flow by then. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's a 3-round fight, and I'm used to the longer ones now. But I'm here, and I'm doing the business.
You did the business, you did enough, and you're through to the semi-final, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Wild Webb.
So this is how it is looking. 1 quarter-final left to decide the last place in the semi-finals. Mark Bennett, Josh Sandland and Nick Webb already through. And Buncey's been catching up with one of our last quarter-finalists, Jonathan Palata.
and, well, the man I picked to win, Jonathan Palata here. John, did I put you under pressure by picking you?
No pressure. I wasn't under any pressure when you picked me.
Now, one of the things that people are saying is that some of the pre-tournament favourites take their eye off the first contest.
You can
Any
keep me in
danger of
business
that
if you want.
tonight, Jonathan?
No chance. I'm not overlooking any opponent. I've trained diligently for every single opponent, so no chance of me taking my off the ball. No chance.
So it could be three rounds, 3 times 9 rounds of non-stop boxing, or it could be you breezing comfortably. What are you fancying tonight, John?
We'll see how it goes. Take it as it comes. We trained for 9 rounds of grueling boxing, but skills pay bills, and if we catch them early, then night-night.
And you know that thing, you can't lose that first round of the first quarter-final. That's the most important round in any Ultimate Boxer. You know that, don't you?
Most definitely, I do. You've got to stay ahead of your opponent, have them chasing, so I'm ready and I'm prepared for that mentally and physically.
Jonathan, thanks for your time. I think he's ready, and he's not joking.
He looks ready, Buncey. That's Buncey backstage. He's there with us all night for Ultimate Boxer 6. One final spot left then in the semi-finals here in Manchester. It's the unbeaten man you just heard from the Frank Warren stable, Jonathan Palata, taking on Yorkshire's Danny Whittaker. Don't go anywhere.
Jonathan Palata, yellow shorts. GSP, Godspeed Palata. In it to win it. Big up Manchester.
Danny Whittaker, green shorts. My nickname, Big Dog. I'm the wild card on the night. The other fighters won't know what's going to hit them.
Well, if you don't like what you've seen, there is no hope for you. Bombs being thrown left, right and centre. The last semi-final place up for grabs now. It's Danny Whittaker and Jonathan Palata.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, Jonathan Palata!
So here comes the undefeated Jonathan Palata. Sydenham in London, he trains out of his famous Peacock Gym in Canning Town. Brings to the ring a perfect professional record of 7 fights, 7 wins, 3 of them coming by way of knockout. He has the ring moniker Godspeed Palata. When he's wearing his own trunks rather than the trunks of the Ultimate Boxer Tournament, GSP, is on his waistband. Skillful, speedy operator Jonathan Palata up into the ring ahead of this final quarter-final affair to see who will progress through to the semis in Ultimate Boxer 6.
And now making his way to the ring, Danny Whitaker!
So here is the least experienced professional in the field, Danny Big Dog, D-A-W-G Whitaker, from Silsden in Yorkshire, competing in just his third professional contest tonight. Perfecting his two professional bouts today, but he made his debut in August of this year. So getting contests under his belt in a hurry since that pro debut in August. But never has he competed on a stage such as this. He's full of ambition, full of intensity, and he is going to give it absolutely everything in a bid to progress through to the Final Four.
He hasn't even got his feet wet into the pro ranks, and he's jumping right at the deep end of the pool. So we'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is quarterfinal number 4, and we are scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in a heavyweight contest. Your referee at the bell, Mr. Darren Sargentson. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Officially, he weighed in at 16 stone and 5 pounds. He brings to the ring a perfect professional record of 7 wins, 3 by way of knockout, and no losses. Tonight, he wears the yellow shorts. From London, England, please welcome Jonathan GSP Godspeed Palata! And introducing his opponent across the ring in the red corner, he officially weighed in at 17 stone, 11 pounds, and 8 ounces. He brings to the ring a professional record of 2-0. Tonight wearing the green shorts from Silsden, Yorkshire, England. Please welcome Danny Big Dog Whitaker! Referee will now give his final instructions to the boxers.
Fellas, you both know the rules. Keep it clean. I don't want anything low. Watch your heads. When I say break, take a step. Most important, defend yourself all the time. Touch gloves.
So we're underway then, in the final quarter-final of Ultimate Boxer 6, and the boxer wearing the yellow trunks is starting with a terrific left jab, and that is Jonathan Palata from London, the opponent wearing green, who has been walked into that triple hammer of a jab to begin this first round, is Danny Whitaker. Danny Whitaker with just 5 amateur contests under his belt. He then took a lengthy break from boxing, but he then did compete on the white-collar scene, where he had 19 contests, won 18 of them, and he poorly competed in a contest of this tournament before, a contest of a similar format before, where he was in an 8-man single elimination tournament. He had to win 3 fights to get the £1,000 prize purse, £1,000 prize purse. He did that, had his hands raised, so he's experienced in the format, but this on an altogether different level here in the pro ranks.
Yeah, it is, and he's trying to back up Palata. Palata sometimes willfully backing up here, trying to create some space. Neither guy has really been able to set the tone just yet. Whitaker has some good head movement, and he's trying to this sweeping left hook consistently. Palata has using a good jab, but thus far, neither guy really able to impose himself on the others. Good defense there by Whitaker with a nice counter.
Beautiful counter right hand, going around the left glove of Palata. Palata remaining patient and poised in the center of the boxing ring. Beautiful counter right hand once again.
Man, those are the most eye-catching shots so far of the round, those 2 counter right hands Whitaker has landed. So Palata's got to get himself going. He's creative with the shots. He's using some uppercuts, some hooks, some angles, but up until that right there with that little left hook, he hadn't really landed a lot.
So beyond the midpoint of the first round, nice left jab landed by Whitaker, nice right uppercut, left hook combination from Palata, chopping right hand, catches the advancing boxer wearing green, and then a beautiful straight right, shoots the head sideways of Whitaker. Double jab was a decent combination from Whitaker. Palata, for all his speed of hand, is just content to move around the ring on rather slow-looking feet. Nice right uppercut landed on the inside.
Yeah, sometimes Pilata's hand positioning is not great, so he's not able to put the punches, as many punches together as maybe he could. Good hook there by Whittaker.
So Whittaker continuing to look for that left hook. Nice patience after the defensive work from Pilata, who came back with a left jab.
So Pilata's landed a few good, decent left jabs in this round. Been probably his most consistent shot. There's another good jab, and then he slips the right hand of Whittaker.
So Pilata looking to get up on his toes on occasion and use the space of the boxing ring. He's confined in the red corner right now, though. Nice counter right hook from Pilata. Looking to employ the shoulder roll in the corner, but that's a big body to try and protect with that type of defense. He wasn't caught with it in the red corner, but a 3-minute round where both boxers enjoyed success.
Yeah, and a good tactical round, but with some action. Both guys are really looking to create attack. And we'll see, it sets the tone for the rest of the 2 rounds, still up in the air. And here's some of the action. You see Whittaker with threw some good hooks in the round, although there he came, used his hook, it got blocked, but he came with a nice sharp right hand afterwards around the side. You see there, Pilata likes to start with that hook and finish with that uppercut. On the inside, he used that combination a lot. Didn't land a lot of it, but there, he landed the uppercut pretty decently there.
Yeah, I want to say him again. You can fucking do this.
So into the second round then of this final quarterfinal. Apologies if you heard any strong language in the red corner, but Whittaker's man encouraging him tremendously, saying that you can do this. His belief must be surging after that first round where he really competed well. The least experienced man in the tournament, competing and acquitting himself very well indeed against the former Haringey Box Cup gold medalist. Jonathan Pilata, ABA novice champion and London champion, the unpaid code as well. But I was ringside in his most recent contest, Jonathan Pilata, against the eliminated quarterfinalist Chris Healy at the Royal Albert Hall a couple of months ago, and it took on a very similar tone to this contest. There's no doubt doubting the man's skill, his ring craft and punch-picking ability, but he was boxing at such a tempo that opportunities were being presented to his opponent.
Yes, and I think Whittaker can take some confidence out of that as well, as Pilata will back himself up a lot of times, and then when he does shoot, he doesn't have to throw anything sustained. So it's almost like he's looking to steal shots. There's combinations there with Whittaker. Though Pilata, when he does respond, throws some good shots. It's becoming fewer and further between, and Whittaker really starting to impose some activity here.
Beautiful left jab again from Pilata. That's been a real profitable punch for him throughout the contest. Tried a right hand lead, it was partially blocked. Came back with a looping left, which was then triggered a response from Whittaker. Exchange of jabs from the boxers. But again, in this type of posture, this type of tempo, Whittaker very much within punching range. And Pilata presenting him opportunities. Nice movement from the head with the waist. Excuse me, nice movement from the waist by Pilata.
Where was the counter? This is what I'm saying about the frustration you see with Pilata. He's got a body where he's clearly in shape. He's got some talent there. And his hands just don't move as much as they should here at points in the round.
Carried out the first half of the equation by making his man miss, but didn't complete it by making him pay. Less than a minute to go in this second round. Whittaker looking to take the contest to him. Clash of heads. As Whittaker looked to move on the inside, he demonstrably showed his discomfort there. Thankfully, the skin remains intact. He's being afforded a really slow tempo, this one. No doubting the quality and punch-picking prowess of Jonathan Pilata. But could he be busier in this truncated format of a 3-3-minute round contest? Whittaker trying to get onto the front foot and let his hands go. That brings about a bit of an exchange. But Pilata content to remain seemingly in first gear, or at least boxing with the handbrake on.
Whittaker up the tempo at the end of that round. You know, those are the things that catch the eyes of the judges.
Right? I'm being serious. I ain't come all this way for nothing. Yeah? You go and make a fucking statement this round. Yeah?
Well, again, we have to apologize for the language before we see some of the action from the second round. Whittaker looking to raise the tempo.
And I say you saw a lot of that one with a nice hook on the end of that as well. You see, and there's the clash of heads here coming up. There it is. Actually, Whittaker kind of fell in there and started showing it.
So into the third and final round then, you get the sense that Pilata's corner, sharing our perspective, Paulie, that he's, well, not that he's letting it, but this contest is in the balance because he has not been active enough in the 2 completed rounds so far.
Yeah, sometimes it's just decision making. You have to make a decision to where you're gonna let your hands go a little bit, get yourself into range.
Pilata did mathematics at the Open University, said that he's got a logical mind, applies that type of strategic thinking. There's a beautiful right hand landed by Pilata.
Even when he's throwing his punches, sometimes they just look a little bit like he's aiming them instead of shooting them and letting them go. A little stiff on the part of Pilata.
Good right uppercut once again by Pilata. Good right hand landed by Healy. That's countered by Whittaker. That's countered immediately by a jab from Pilata. Whittaker just nudging shots to the body, and just a minute gone in this second round, and there hasn't been a discernible increase in urgency or tempo from Pilata. It is still the same lethargic pace coming from the man in the yellow shorts.
It's a slowed down Whittaker though, and he's taking some cleaner shots. Well, good jab for him there.
Beautiful overhand right landed by Pilata. Whittaker surely will be looking to work away at that type of distance when it's on the inside. So Pilata remaining patient, remaining poised. Beyond the midpoint of this third and final round, his punches have been more eye-catching. They've been of a superior quality here in this third round.
And Whittaker's body language definitely changed. Now he's backing up. He's not even looking to create anything here. He's kind of backing up. And Pilata's now starting to walk him down.
He scored with a spearing right cross once again, did Pilata. And perhaps, even though we've made note of his rather low punch output, he's mindful of the 2 bouts that are still to potentially come. But there's a cracking right hand landed by Whittaker. Oh, a beautiful right uppercut, left hook landed by Whittaker, and a left hook once again, and then a right on the inside.
And I'll tell you, Whittaker may have just put the round back in his favor, because although Pilata had a good round thus far, he hadn't landed anything remotely resembling shots like that. And in succession, no less.
Real eye-catching combination, sustained success from Danny Whittaker has tilted the tide of this third and final round.
You talk about game planning. Maybe Whittaker was taking a slow pace at the beginning of this round so he could explode at the end of it, because that was really an explosion of punches. And he's very active. He's looking to create more shots here again.
Closing seconds of this third and final round, which has been a back and forth affair. How will the judges score this one? Because my goodness, Whittaker raises his arm immediately. His body language is far more effusive than that of the man in the blue corner. It's a rather subdued Jonathan Pilata over in his corner. Whittaker absolutely ecstatic.
This is what I mean about this tournament. You can't go make predictions. How do you go make predictions? It's just so difficult. I mean, Whittaker may have pulled this one out.
Well, we are going to the scoring judges, Howard Foster, John Latham, and Michael Alexander. And Danny Whittaker, the big dog, barking to his fans who have made their way up to the Ultragam Ice Arena in Greater Manchester. Because in the final third of that round, he put together a blistering combination.
Yes, it really was. See, he starts with that sweeping hook again. He brings it back with a nice right hand, with a sharp right hand there. Again, there it is again. He'll a lot of roll with that one a little bit. There was that other combination. If we can get a replay of that, there it is right there. Started with a nice jab and a second jab to kind of get Pilata on the defensive first, and then once he saw him on the defensive, he let those shots go and landed both of them very nicely.
So two undefeated fighters who have taken vastly differing routes into the professional ranks. Who will have their hand raised here, because that was an intriguing third and final round where Palata's punch-picking was exquisite for the first half of the fight. But then Whittaker produced a brilliant burst of combination punches. Judges with plenty to contemplate here. Terry Kavanagh is in position up in the neutral corner. Let's get the official particulars at the conclusion of this intriguing fourth and final quarterfinal.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings an end to our quarterfinals, and after 3 rounds, we once again go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 29-28 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Danny Whittaker!
What a stunning upset we have witnessed here at the Altrincham Ice Arena. Danny Whittaker, the least experienced man in the field, competing in just his 3rd professional contest, has taken the O of the highly touted Jonathan Palata. He's consigned to his first professional loss. His record now stands at 7-1. But the story here is that Danny Whittaker, the big dog, has taken a bite out of one of the tournament favorites. Palata eliminated. It's Whittaker who progresses. Let's hear from him now. He's ringside with Layla.
Big dog, you just took out the favorite of the competition and caused a real upset right now.
Big dog is the underdog. I'm here to take over. Woo!
Walk me through, my friend, what went right for you?
I think, to be fair, a bit underestimated. I know he's a brilliant boxer. Again, unbeaten, signed by Frank Warren if you're not a decent boxer. But I just wanted to prove to everybody what I can do, not only to everybody, but to myself as well. And I'm buzzing with that. And no matter what happens on the night, I go on and try and win every fight. But I am happy with the results so far.
You were undoubtedly underestimated, but also you ate some impressive shots there. Yeah. Give me some words on your opponent.
Again, I before the fight, I hated him. He didn't shake me hand at the press conference. If he wants to act the hard man, fair enough, but at least back it up. I mean, I'm a nice guy, and I'll tell you from the start, I'm a nice guy. And at the end of the day, I'll shake anyone who wants fighting's hand, and I hope we all come out of the ring at the end of the day healthy. But at the end of the day, I'm just buzzing that I won, and I just want to thank everyone for this opportunity. So, yes, Leeds!
Without a doubt, the adrenaline's running through your blood right now, but you've got Nick Wildweb coming up in the semi-final. What's your plan for rest and recuperation right now?
Take it as it comes, as again. I'm just happy to be here. I'm buzzing I won that fight. Let's go to the next one. Let's see where we go.
We're looking forward to seeing you in the semi-final. Congrats.
Thank you. Cheers.
So this is how the semi-final lineup looks. Mark Bennett against Josh Sandland is semi-final 1, and in our second semi-final of the night, we're going to see Nick Webb taking on the man who we've just heard from with Layla there, Danny Whittaker. So ringside with me here in Manchester, if you're just joining us on BT Sport, Amir Khan and the $1 million recently retired Mr. Anthony Crolla, looking suave, both of you guys. I mean, that was the biggest shock of the night, wasn't it? The favourite, it was many people's favourite, Jonathan Palata, fighting out of the Frank Warren stable. He's going home.
That's right, he's going home. I mean, a lot of people expected him to win this competition, this tournament, but I mean, he just fell a little bit short. I mean, I thought, you know, he was taking his time a little bit in there. He could have put a little bit more pressure on when he wanted. Maybe he was just saving himself for the later fights, but maybe he saved himself too much, you know, and obviously he's not through to the next round.
We thought we were going to see a knockdown, the first knockdown of the evenings, the heavyweights. You haven't seen one yet.
Listen, on paper, and that was the contest there, someone like Danny Whittaker, 2-0. Most of his career's been on the unlicensed, you know, the white-collar scene, against, you know, a touted prospect like Palata. I think what Palata's problem was, and May covered it then, he was saving himself a little bit too much, and he was looking pretty and blocking, but he was getting out-hustled a little bit, and then I thought the last round Whittaker landed some big shots. Paul Pitts in the commentary swung the round in his favour, so again, Palata, I'm probably guessing, thought he'd done enough. We've had 4 fights there, 4 quarterfinals.
How big a step up is that from white collar? That shouldn't be underestimated, should it? I know he's had 2 professional fights.
Yeah, it's a huge step up. The white collar circuit, the licensed circuit, you do get some good lads on it, but let's be honest, that was a huge upset. A huge upset.
Right, let's hear, shall we, from Steve Bunce, who's backstage with our first semi-finalists of Ultimate Boxer 6.
I'm with Mark Bennett, a winner of the first quarter-final. Now, you know who you're fighting in the semi-final, Josh Sandland. He fought the most experienced man, and at times he made it look easy.
Yeah, I think Josh is a cute fighter. Josh is good. He's no mug. Like none of the lads in this tournament are no mugs. I mean, when I boxed Camille, I made harder work at Camille than what Josh has just done. But yeah, I'm ready for him, mate. I'm ready what he brings, and I'll bring what I bring, and then we'll have a tear up.
I mean, the Mexican sombrero wearer, Jay, he dragged you in. That's what he does. You can't have an easy 3 rounds of him, can you?
No, mate. No, I think he's no, like, again, Jay's no mug himself. He can box. He's cute, mate. It was in the first round. He took the first round. I'm under no illusions of that. But the second and third, he started tiring, and that's where I started picking up a bit, and my fitness kicked in a bit better. Like so. Oh.
And do you think that the semi-final against Josh will be a little bit more technical, or do you hope it'll be a bit more technical? Will you try and impose your weight and strength on him?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, that's my advantage. I'm heavier than Josh. I'm taller than Josh, and and I can lean on him and tire him hopefully, and just fucking drag him into a dogfight.
And then have a third fight.
And the third fight, well,
what an easy night!
Oh, it'll be an easy night.
Oh, Mark, what an easy night. Apologies if you didn't like some of that language. That's just the way it works here at the boxing. Thank you. Semi-finalist one, Josh Sandland. Fantastic win over the experienced Pole. Was it? I mean, it was tight, but you made it look easy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I just trained hard for it. I know what I'm capable of doing. He was absolutely fantastic. He's a fantastic professional. I can't take no away from him. He's a really tough lad. And I respect everybody that gets in there. I'll just say that before we start. But yeah, the game plan worked, and we got away with the win.
Now, in the semi-final, you got Mark Bennett, who was in an absolute slugfest. You were watching it in the changing room. Do you think you've got an advantage? Because he's had that hard fight, and you've had a relatively easier fight. Do you think you've got an advantage?
No, I believe every fight's hard. Mark Bennett, another tough guy. I respect him as well. I've just got to come out there and do what I can do, and I'll do my best.
Do you feel, and thanks for your time, so I know you're warming down and getting ready. Do you feel that you can relax now? You got through the first one, now you can start enjoying yourself.
You've got to enjoy yourself anyway. So it's just a scenario. We just got to keep going. I'd just like to thank everybody that stood by me. You know, I get a bit teary-eyed when I say.
You've had some hard times, haven't you?
Yeah, honestly, mate, it's fantastic for people to even cheer for me. You know what I mean? I really come from my heart. I really respect that, mate. Honestly.
And the people watching, I respect it. Josh, thanks very much. Enjoy yourself in the semi.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you all for all support. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
So the semi-finals coming up next for you live on BT Sport here at Ultimate Boxer 6. More from Amir Khan, from Anthony Crolla ringside as well. Don't go anywhere. It's going off. 50 grand on the line, and the Golden Robe is waiting in the wings. Welcome back to Ultimate Boxer 6 here in Manchester. It's been quite a night so far. The semi-finals not far away. Couple of minutes, though, to catch our breath. Let's go and find where Jack Fincham is. He's up in the gods. Jackie boy, what's going on, sunshine?
Thank you, Will. Yep, I'm here with Paulie Malignaggi. We've had 4 fantastic quarterfinals. We're getting towards the semi-finals now. It's been a great night of action so far. Paulie, what have you made so far of the night?
What I've made is I don't know what to make.
I don't know what's happening,
Nobody
honestly.
is an expert when it comes to Ultimate Boxer because we just saw the last fight, the biggest upset of the tournament. The tournament favorite is out. This is why when people ask me, who are you going to pick? Who are you looking at? I don't give them a name because I don't want anybody to get credit over these other guys because as far as I'm concerned, everybody's going to fight it out on the night. And rarely do the favorites end up winning. I mean, we don't always see them eliminated in the first fight, but this was crazy.
I mean,
don't know.
I'm surprised that I haven't seen more knockdowns. I don't know about you, honestly. I mean, everyone seems to have boxed quite cagely. They're trying to sort of reserve their energy a little bit.
I think these guys know everybody's expecting the knockout, so they don't want to be the guy to get knocked out.
I think
and also,
right.
I tell you what, the big guys get tired quicker. They get tired faster. So once they come out trying for the knockout, and then they kind of slow down, and the pace slows down, and then sort of nothing on their shots. We might see a knockout based on exhaustion. We'll see.
Yeah, I thought that at the first quarterfinal, I thought Jay McFarlane put so much into that first round. I think that really showed throughout the fight, and I think that's why Mark Bennett won.
Yeah. McFarlane had a great first round actually, but then he had nothing left for the second and third, and then you still have to. I guess you still have to pace yourself, even though you have to go at a good pace.
Yeah. Well, look, I cannot wait for the semi-finals, but let's see what Layla's up to. Layla, what are you up to?
I'm joined by the White Rhino. Dave Allen's with me now. Also ringside. Tell me, how's the night gone for you so far?
I've really enjoyed it. It's a great night of boxing. It's booming in here, and the format for me is what makes this competition so special. They're all coming out and having a go. They're all inexperienced and they're trying to excite and entertain. More than trying to win, it seems, for some of them, and for me it's more exciting. I know 7 of the 8 men. I've sparred with them or shared a room with them. Nick Webb, I knocked him out at the O2. Don't know if anyone saw that. Maybe you did, I don't know. I went to school with Mark Bennett. I've been a sparring partner for many of these guys, so for me, an extra bit of excitement, obviously, because I know them all, but for all the fans there, they're absolutely loving it, and I'm going to shout, that's how great it is.
And it makes for explosive boxing as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, 3 3-minute rounds, experienced fighters, and big men as well, like it is tonight. I think we're going to see a few knockouts, 3 fights left. I think we might see 3 stoppages.
Waiting for it, we're waiting for the big knockouts.
Well, Paulie, we're still here. I cannot wait for these semi-finals. Do you feel, is there anyone that is a favourite for you now? I know you hate saying favourites. I know you hate this, but after seeing that, there's some upsets there. Has your mind changed from what you had in the back of your mind at the beginning?
I tell you, Whittaker looked really good. Whittaker had some head movement. He had a couple of feints in there. He's got a decently educated left hand in that he's able to come with some sweeping hooks and jabs. Sondland looked like he wanted to fight harder than he did.
I was really surprised with Sondland. Honestly, I was impressed.
But his opponent kept holding him a lot. So I think Sondland can show us a lot more in the next fight if he's able to have an opponent who's willing to engage. Obviously, I'm curious about Bennett because his fight was very, very fast-paced. So I want to really see what he's got left in this round. And then Webb, he got a decision against Healy where he kind of had to work for it too. So we'll see. I mean, there's question marks about each guy. You can't right now. I don't really see a guy that I can say I definitively see this guy as the winner. I can't.
Well, let's find out a little bit more about our first semi-finalists.
Mark Bennett, Grey Short. My nickname is Mark Bad News Bennett. When I first started boxing, the lads gave me it for when I was out on the lash with the lads. When I'm terrorising and having a crack and that, I can be bad news. I'm fighting for 2 reasons, really. For myself, to push myself and test myself and just keep striving forward. And my second reason is my family at home. I've got 4 children and my wife. When I win Ultimate Boxer, the money will be going into an extension on the back of my house. It'll make us a good Christmas as a family, and we'll see an holiday out of it as well. My message for the sellout crowd would be, keep an eye on me because I promise you I'll have a tear up. I'll stand and trade leather and I'll stand and toe to toe with the man in front of me.
Josh Sandland, black shorts. I don't have a nickname, but whatever the public decides. I'm fighting for all the people out there that's had stuff go wrong in life and stuff, and just keep working hard at stuff and don't let life get you down. You can do whatever you put your mind to. If I win, I'll probably have a nice long holiday with my missus and kids and spoil them a bit because I don't get to see them much. Don't blink. It's going to be very exciting. Every fight, jam-packed.
Well, there's some interesting stuff there, Paulie. There really, really is, honestly.
Yeah, there is. A former rugby player, son.
A former rugby player, he's in there.
And he's looking to bring the intensity. You know, he's the smallest heavyweight out of this whole tournament. So I think his conditioning is really going to be able to play a part for him.
Yeah.
In the first fight, you could see he wanted to fight more.
Yeah.
Sokolowski was doing a lot of holding,
Yeah.
and he wasn't able to break free. So I'm curious to see about Sondland and see what kind of a pace he can bring in the second fight.
Me too, me too. Well, let's catch up with Layla again. Layla, what are you up to? Who are you with?
I'm joined by Dean White, who's now officially a legit superhero after saving a BA flight from going down when a panic-stricken man went for the door mid-flight. And also on that flight, amongst many important people, was of course AJ's mum. So you're a hero now, my friend.
Well, I don't know. I'll just say I would do anything any normal person would do. I felt like there was imminent danger. One of the stewards came and said to me they needed help, or one of the guys on the plane. I went down there. The gentleman was trying to pull the door and fight two stewards, so I just kind of went and bent him up, shaked him about, and then kind of dragged him away from the door.
Did they come to you knowing you were a boxer, or did they come to you just because you're big and strong?
You know what? I think they said I'm the right man for the job because, you know, I said, how come you didn't get out? They said, no, you're the perfect man for the job, because it worked. The guy was really scared once he saw me. And by the time I grabbed him and squeezed him, he kind of subdued and kind of went down. So it was kind of great.
Unbelievable story. But now, of course, you're ringside watching Ultimate Boxer here. How are you finding the event?
Listen, the atmosphere is amazing. It's very packed. There's a lot of people upset in the apple cart. The winners that I thought was going to win are out. It's anyone's match. It's anyone's tournament to win. I'm going to be rooting for Nick Webb because I know him. But, I mean, the other guys have proven and shown, listen, names don't mean anything. Numbers don't mean anything. If you're undefeated, you can be defeated. As you saw with Jonathan Pilar, he was someone I was rooting for. But listen, hell of an atmosphere. I just can't wait for the final to see who becomes the ultimate winner.
Neither can I. Can't wait. Thank you very much. For now, it's back to you, Will.
Layla, thank you very much. After the break, we are back with the Ultimate Boxers, and it's the semi-final stage in the heavyweight division here in Manchester. The man who served his country in Afghanistan, Mark Bennett, taking on the man you're seeing there in the pink t-shirt, warming up, ready to go. Josh Sandland, he said he was shafted by rugby league, a former professional with Wakefield and Huddersfield. He had a spell in the NRL as well before coming back from the Gold Coast to spend time with his mum who was suffering from cancer. I love the stories behind these fighters. Where is the next twist in the Ultimate Boxer tale? Friday the 13th in Manchester, and it is going off here for Ultimate Boxer 6. Mark Bennett taking on Josh Sandland. That's the first semi-final, and Nick Webb will be up against Danny Whitaker. Let's get over to Terry Kavanagh with the first of those matchups.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the semi-final stage of Ultimate Boxer 6, the heavyweights. If you're having a good time so far tonight, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise! Introducing semi-final number 1, your referee at the bell, Mr. Michael Alexander. Your 3 judges scoring ringside, Darren Sanderson, Howard Foster, and John Latham. Introducing first and making his way to the ring, Josh Sandland.
Well, Josh Sandland wasting no time getting into the boxing ring ahead of this first semi-final. Terrific performance in his quarter-final to prevail over Kamil Sokolovsky, a unanimous decision winner, 29-28 for all 3 judges. He was wrapped up a lot during the course of that contest, but he did show some nice skills and a beautiful up jab when he wasn't being clinched by Kamil Sokolovsky.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now making his way to the ring, Mark Bad News Bennett!
Well, in stark contrast to Josh Sandland, Mark Bennett just milking the moment at the rear of the Planet Ice Arena here in Altrincham. An altogether more measured march towards the boxing ring. Extended his perfect record in the professional ranks, moving to 6-0 with a hard-fought split decision win over the Glaswegian Ghost Jay McFarlane in his quarterfinal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for semi-final number 1. Introducing first and fighting out of the blue corner, Josh Sandland. And introducing his opponent across the ring in the red corner, Mark Bad News Bennett. Referee will now give his instructions to the boxers.
Well, lads, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most important, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right?
So we're underway then, the first semi-final of Ultimate Boxer 6. The taller figure wearing the grey shorts is Mark Bad News Bennett from Doncaster. His opponent, who had just taken a cracking right hook, the more compact figure, Josh Sandland. My goodness, he was shaken down to his boots by that cracking right hand. But you can see from the contrasting statures and physiques that the tactics here are obvious. The face of Josh Sandland reddened by that arcing right hook that Bennett was able to land, and now he's looking to measure his man by holding out the left hand like a gauge and coming over with that big backhand.
And that's the thing with Sandland's going to be trying to be more active than his opponents. He's trying to use the small stature to the advantages he can have it. But that's the thing, when you get hit with a big shot from these bigger guys, you're going to feel it more, and it's going to be more eye-catching.
So now Sandland getting into the territory where he wants to work away, trying to get inside the longer reach of the man in grey, who imposed himself immediately on this contest. There was a nice initial roll from Sandland to avoid the first shot, but then he walked into another jab, and again, there's the rolling evidence. Came up with a nice left hook and then right uppercut. Can he continue to sustain that? And how well will he be able to absorb the big bomb that Bennett is looking to land in this opening round? Remember, Sandland, the former rugby league player, terrific combination punching landed by Bennett, and you can see the face of Sandland increasingly reddening, taking on the tone of a tomato. He comes forward, lands a good right hand to the body, and he's looking to target the torso of the taller man.
Yeah, and Sandlin trying to be more active. Oh, there's a good shot, and there's a good return by Bennett. I was going to say, he's landing a lot of shots on the arms, though, is Sandlin, but get some of them getting through there now.
Well, 2 minutes gone in the opening round. Sandland again trying to get inside, but Bennett using his superior bulk against the smallest man in the tournament, jolting right hand once again, and he's punching the resistance out of Sandland, but he gets his balance back beneath him, and gamely comes forward once again, looking to work away at Bennett.
Well described there, Ronnie. Gamely is right. I mean, Sandland is a small guy, but he's very game in these fights.
Putting his head down and trying to burrow away with punches at close range. Steps into the pocket once more. Bennett trying to create some room by pushing him off with his elbow. But it's a heavy price that Sandland is being forced to pay as he looks to work away at close range, because he's being hit with some big punches on his way to his own punching distance. And he's down, overwhelmed by the punches from Mark Bennett. And he has taken an awful lot of heavy leather in this opening round. He has beaten the count. Referee Michael Alexander tolling the mandatory 8 count, and the bell coming at just the right moment for Josh Sandland, who makes his way back to the instruction of his corner.
The action from that last round is the big right hand there by Bennett, which started backing up Sandlin. Now Sandlin trying to hold on there, but you see he's wasting, expending energy. There's a good counter uppercut there underneath the jab of Sandlin. That was a good shot, and timed very well by Bennett. And I don't know that Sandlin ever recovered very well from it, as he was getting backed up here, taking some more shots, and eventually the flurry ends up putting him down. But it seemed like he was hurt from the initial right hand, the initial uppercut.
Well, Chris Ashton with urgent instruction over in that blue corner. After Josh Sandland was able to rise from his feet and make it back to the intermission. Nice jab from Sandland again. Quick feet to get into range, and then he's shooting it upwards. Bennett, his punches looking just a little more languid, but my goodness, are they heavy, particularly in comparison to the shots being landed by the more compact, shaven-headed figure. And remember, from his first quarter-final, Bennett appeared to get more into the contest as it progressed. He was able to up the work rate as the contest went on.
Yeah, he's clearly in shape, but of course we also have to see how much that took out of him. Let's see what he has left as this fight goes on. He had a great first round here with the knockdown. He's having a good round here as well.
Jolting the shaven head of Sandland from side to side with some clubbing punches at close range, and now just putting his bulk onto the man once again. Mark Bennett, one of 3 fighters over 18 stone in Ultimate Boxer 6, the 3rd heaviest man in the tournament at 18 stone 4 pounds 6 ounces, and he was putting every ounce of that onto Sandland. But Sandland, impossible to discourage, impossible to deter, marching forwards once again and looking to work away on the inside.
And this is what you talk about, Ronnie's game. He's trying to, he just doesn't know how to create space, so he kind of just tackles almost. You said he used to play rugby, right? It goes back to his old ways. Here, Bennett created space, and when Bennett has the space, he will land some good shots.
Nice uppercut on the inside from Sandland, but Bennett just walking through it and had the better of that exchange. Sandland forward with an arcing overhand right, the glancing left hand, and now Bennett looking to cover up all of a sudden, but he's remaining composed on the ropes. Jolting left hand, and then a beautiful right hand causes Sandland to wilt. And Bennett puts his man down for the 2nd time. Josh Sandland looks incredibly weary. His fighting spirit remains intact, but I'm not quite sure how much physicality he has left. He comes forward and puts everything behind the right hand. This could well be the last roll of the dice for Josh Sandland. Josh Sandland, he's got absolutely nothing left. Down to the canvas for a 3rd time, no count given, but he continues to will his way forward.
But it's taking away his punching space when he does this. That's the problem. He gets body to body, but you can't get any leverage on your shots when you're that close.
Bennett using good footwork to turn his man and pin him to the ropes. And Sandland incredibly fatigued here now. but he knows nothing else than to try to get into punching range and look for a home for his shots. Closing seconds of the second round. It's been a huge round for Bennett. That's a nice right uppercut on the inside from Sandland, whose fighting spirit remains undeterred.
Michael Alexander has his work cut out for him in this fight. He's been having to do a lot of break, and there's some good action again here.
Nice movement from the waist from Sandland, who weaved backwards to avoid that final right hand, and he fixed his man with a defiant snarl as if to say, I'm still here and I'm coming out for the next round, you better be ready.
Yeah, and I have no doubt he will. There's action from that round. You see the big shots. He just missed those big thudding shots that would have thudded if he landed. But then Bennett responds with some good short shots. I think Sandland, got himself exhausted throwing those looping shots, and then when the response came from Bennett, he had nothing left. I mean, this is almost like a jab when Bennett changes the angle. And there was the follow-up when Bennett was looking to try to finish Sandland. Sandland fell. That was a slip. The second one time he went down, he kind of just fell into, more so of a fall than even a slip.
So into the third and final round then.
Oh, good double hook.
Double left hook from Sandland, who is targeting the body terrifically to begin this third and final round. He must be trailing by a country mile on the scorecards, having been knocked down in both the first and the second round, but he's emerged for the final stanza full of fight.
Yeah, he needs a knockout. Seems like Bennett's saying a couple of steps back, he might be trying to save himself for the final. We'll see what he's thinking. I think Bennett knows he's comfortably ahead. Probably going to try to have a slow-paced last round.
But Sandland giving him no room to breathe, trying to get inside his shorts as he targets the body effectively once again with a two-shot combination. But a thudding right hand lands to the body and then the head of Sandland. Sandland then countered with a right hand of his own. Trapped in the corner, in the neutral corner, just above our commentary position. And a looping left hook catches Bennett's attention. He's keen to cover up, takes a right hand to the body and a right uppercut to the head.
You see, Sandland doesn't understand. He needs to create space. Why is he smothering himself?
But he lands a looping left hand, and Bennett goes walkabout just to give himself some space. Any chance of cruising through the third round for the man who must be in front on the scorecards, Mark Bennett? Well, that's not a possibility as Sandland marches into the pocket once again as he goes looking for the finish. Uppercut success for the shaven-headed fighter. So Bennett, his feet becoming just a little bit disorganized. Sometimes he's throwing out a straight right as though it's a southpaw jab, but he's not taking his feet with him. And Sandland enjoying a terrific round, looking to turn the tide here in the third and final frame. Bennett holding on just beyond the midpoint of the third round. Sandland with the bit between his teeth marches forwards once again. Beautiful right uppercut, right hand around the corner. Bennett desperately tired, sagging on the strands just above us.
And Bennett has 1 minute left to try to get this knockout, and he knows it. He's putting it all on the line here.
Sandland looking for the finish. Bennett looking to survive. He's put his man on the floor twice as he lands another right uppercut. Bennett with an arcing right hand around the corner.
Sandland still believes he can get this knockout that he desperately needs.
So Sandland showing incredible conditioning. A determination that is undimmed, a big intake of breath by Mark Bennett. And Sandland back on him once again with a left hook and a right hand over the top. Countered immediately by a right hand by Bennett. Furious action here in the third and final round. In the final seconds, Sandland is still in pursuit of a finish. Michael Alexander having his hands full during the course of this heavyweight slugfest. And Sandland cannot even hold his boxing stance. That is how much he has given in pursuit of victory. Michael Alexander sportingly helping him back up, but the time has continued to tick.
Look at Alexander's face. Michael Alexander, he's laughing. Even he can't believe the effort.
What an incredible effort by Josh Sandland in the third and final round. My goodness, he was on the floor twice. The thunderous applause he's receiving here, and if he's bowing out of Ultimate Boxer 6, well, he has made his name for himself up here on this grand stage.
All heart, all heart. What a final round he gave. And I'll tell you what, I I don't know if he took a lot out of Bennett, where Bennett's going to pay for that in the final.
What a sensational effort by Josh Sandland, but Mark Bennett able to withstand the furious flurry that Josh Sandland sustained from opening bell to last in the third and final round.
There's some of the highlights. Look at him whipping all his weight into all these shots. It's just he's a little guy, so he's got to try even harder to get this knockout. And he was trying as hard as he could. Look at the shot ripping back the head over the ropes of Bennett. I tell you what, credit to Bennett for surviving this as well, because, you know, he's got a good chin, but he's also tired, so your punch resistance is diminished when you're tired. And Sandland really just went for the gusto. Matter of fact, so much for the gusto that right there he pushed himself right out of the ropes. He was so tired.
Well, wonderful to see the respect between these two combatants, because they have just shared 3 furious rounds here on the stage of Ultimate Boxer 6. Mark Bennett, though, with plenty of insurance in the bag at the conclusion of those first 2 rounds, where he sent Josh Sandland to the floor in each of the opening 2 frames. Now, it's not inconceivable for a 10-8 round to be scored without sending a boxer to the canvas, but the convention in professional boxing is if to score a 10-8 round, you've got to put the man on the floor. Josh Sandland enjoyed a dominant final round. I don't think it's a 10-8 round, which should see Bennett going through to the final.
But Bennett also had 2 10-8 rounds. He had one in the first round and one in the second round.
That's what I'm saying. So
it's
even
impossible.
so, yes.
Yeah, it's impossible for Sandland to catch up even with 1 knockdown, and it's gonna even with a big round.
So Terry Kavanagh in position. Let's get the verdict at the conclusion of that thrilling semi-final.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both these fighters. They gave it everything. And after 3 great rounds of heavyweight boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Both Judge Foster and Latham both scored about 29-26, and Judge Sargentson scores about 29-28. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And now 1/2 of the Ultimate Boxer final, Mark Bennett!
So Mark Bennett, a unanimous point decision winner against Josh Sandland, taking it for all 3 judges, 29-26 for Howard Foster and John Latham, 29-28 for Darren Sargentson. But Josh Sandland really has made a name for himself, and a lot of fans in the fight fraternity here up at the Ultracom Ice Arena, because he gave absolutely everything in the pursuit of victory. He's been eliminated, and it's Mark Bennett who goes through to contest the Ultimate Boxer 6 final. He's with Layla now.
Mark, Bad News Bennett, good to have you by my side once again. Let's talk about that last round, because, my friend, you faced pure desire there, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, Josh come out swinging. He definitely wanted that. I mean, I caught him with 2 in the first and second. I caught him with some good shots, and he went down, and that's what's won me the fight, really. Those 2 knockouts. Other than that, it was another round. I make hard work of him, don't I? I know how to do that. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
You had everyone up on their feet here. It really was an impressive fight to watch. Was there a moment there of frustration that you couldn't quite knock him out?
Yeah, I mean, I seen him stumbling a bit, and I started chasing, and they weren't landing then. That's just the rawness of me. But it'll come, it will come. Getting there.
You are still undefeated, and you're through to the final. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, well, it's a dream come true, isn't it? Let's be very, just before Christmas, how I'm taking that Golden Robe home.
The confidence, I love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bad news, Mark Bennett.
Wow, that was unbelievable. Amir Khan, Anthony Crolla with me here live on BT Sport, Ultimate Boxer 6. It's finally gone up a few gears there. I mean, you have to credit the bravery, the fight in Josh Sandland.
I mean, definitely. I mean, the way the guys fought, both guys, Bennett and Sandland. I mean, I have to give a lot of credit to Sandland. What a great performance he put on, being the lighter guy in the whole tournament, but coming off a great fight like that.
The engine on him.
And the engine on him as well, would not take a step back. So many times in the fight he was hurt. He was literally, you know, off his feet, but he just kept coming back. And I have to say, you know, credit to him. And obviously the winner was Bennett. Bennett put in a great performance. He stood there right the way to the end, and you have to give him a lot of credit as well. He's right through to the finals now, and He's going to make a great final, this is.
There was a point in that second round where he was hurt and he was almost, it looked like he was out on his feet, Sandlin, and I thought, referee was stopping our towel coming. But how we fought back was unbelievable. But we've got to give credit to Bennett as well. He withstood a very, heavy onslaught in that last round and deserved winner. But the uppercut that he caught Sandlin with in the first that started the knockdown off, what a shot, what a shot. And we've just seen the fight of the night. That's one of the best fights we've seen in Ultimate Boxer history, that.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it? And, we're lucky to be so close here. You could just see in Josh's eyes, he was absolutely not going to accept going out of welterweight. He knew he needed the knockdown. He knew he needed the knockout,
Exactly.
And he was going for it right up.
He was going for it all the way to the end, and so a few times me and Andy Crawler, the sweat came out of the ring right into our face. But I have to say, what a fight it was, and I think I'm really excited for the final now. I'm waiting for this next semi-final. Hopefully, it'll be as exciting as this one that just happened. Let's see how it all goes, man.
Recovery time now for Bennett.
Quite important.
That was a tough fight.
Yeah. And look, you think tactically as well, because Mark Bennett knew he was up on the scorecards. He just had to stay out of trouble, but he couldn't, could he?
He couldn't. I mean, he knows. He just knows how to fight, and he's one of them who'll just stand there. You could put him in the telephone box.
Yes.
I mean, these guys were just knocking each other out.
We didn't need a ring then.
They didn't need a ring. They were just could put him in the corner, wherever. But I mean, he's got time to recover now. Is he going to be recovered fully?
Is he going to have long enough? I think after that, I think he need a few weeks. Never mind a few hours.
Right, semi-final one, absolute flames in Manchester. Next up, these two.
Nick Webb, red shorts. My nickname, I'm Nick Wild Webb, the Lion. My nickname Wild Webb was from my granddad. He was a bare knuckle fighter and he was ferocious in his day, and I'm ferocious and I'm wild. I'm fighting for my future. I've got to right a few wrongs, coming off some demons, some injuries, and now I'm in the best shape of my life. And I'm ready to rumble, and I can't wait. I'm fighting for my future. With my slice of the 50 grand, I'm going to pay off some debt, I'm going to pay my bills, and I'm going to look for the future to be comfortable. My message to the crowd is, get ready for some explosive action. You know me, Nick Webb, I always come to please. Doesn't matter what happens, I will always please the crowd. I'm explosive. And you know it's for Wild Webb.
Danny Whittaker, green shorts. My nickname is Big Dog, and it came from just some pals really when I was younger, knocking about with them and being a big lad as I am. Called me the Big Dog, yeah, so it sort of stuck from there, and I took it into my boxing. I'm fighting for my family, my fiance, myself, and for everyone who's ever doubted me. If I win, I'm going to, first of all, take the family on a nice holiday and hopefully pay for mine and my fiance's wedding somewhere nice abroad next year. My message for the sellout crowd in Manchester will be don't blink, because there's going to be fireworks.
So, boys, from what we've seen from Danny Whittaker and Nick Webb already in the first quarterfinals, who are you fancying, Anne?
Tough one to call. Whittaker shocked us all by being the favourite of the competition. It's not the confidence, but I'm going to say Nick Webb. Experience, amateur pedigree, I think sees them all.
And Emma, we've got to remind people watching at home that Danny Whittaker was a late entrant into UB6. He had about 2 weeks preparation. Exactly. He's got a white-collar background, only 2 professional fights. But what we saw there against Jonathan Palata, anything can happen in this.
Exactly, but you have to remember he beat one of the best fighters in the tournament, Plata. I mean, I just think that Whittaker has everything to win this tournament. He's got the semi-final coming up against Webb. Webb's a game fighter, but I just feel that he's got what it takes to win this fight. I mean, I know Anthony Crawler thinks Webb will win, but I think Whittaker might have his number.
Right, let's go backstage, catch up with Bunty, who's been speaking to these two semi-finalists.
You made it look easy at times.
To be fair, like I say, it's just a massive stage for me. I'm buzzing, I'm excited. I just wanted to, I know I can do it. In the gym, I do it day in, day out, and it's just getting through the nerves and doing it in front of the crowd. But I'm buzzing that I've managed to do that. So I know I'm good enough to win him, and I think I'm good enough to beat anyone in the tournament. But it's just putting it out on the stage in front of everyone, which sometimes I don't get. But I'm glad I did it today so far.
That was only your third fight, and now you're fighting Nick Webb, one of the most experienced guys in the semi-final. He was watching you, and as I was watching him watching you, I was thinking, wow. He was thinking, wow. Then suddenly he was thinking, there's more to Danny. You could see it in his mind than meets the eye. Is there a lot more to Danny that we can't see?
Definitely. Like I say, I mean, I get told by the team around me, as you do, that I've got the qualities to go far. Sometimes I just doubt myself. So I'm just buzzing that I managed to put it all.
You're flying.
I know I am. I'm buzzing. I'm just sort of, like I say, it's all a bit of a dream. I mean, only 3 weeks ago I found out I was going to be in the tournament. And now I beat the favourite in the first round. I'm absolutely buzzing, and I'm just excited to get going.
Well, Nick, first of all, forget your fight. We've just seen a massive upset there. Unbeaten Pilata, beaten by 2-bout relative novice. Anything can happen in Ultimate Boxer.
You have to work for every round, for every inch of every fight. Because if you don't work and you get outworked, that's what happens, and you've got 3 rounds to prove it.
And even in your fight, Scott had to read you the right act in no uncertain terms to make sure you went out and won that 3rd round. Were you aware it was that close?
To be honest, not really, because I felt I wasn't getting it and I was hitting him. And that's what boxing, how you win fights. So, but, yeah, it was close, and I'm glad I turned it up in the 3rd round.
So, now, let's be absolutely honest here. You've just seen a 2-bout novice win the other quarter-final. Is there something in your head that makes you go, oh, that'll be a bit easier, because I thought Pilata, the unbeaten fighter, would be harder? Or can you just approach it as another fight?
It's just another fight. I weren't sure who's going to win. You know, he's the wild card, that Danny Whitaker, so I was ready for whoever's going to win. I didn't know who was going to win. So.
And Scott, last word of you. Has he got 6 more rounds left in him?
Absolutely. He's been training as a pro for the last 4 years. He can do this with his eyes closed, no problem. But listen, tonight, as you've seen for yourself, these guys look like they're walking in quicksand. I think there's a lot of pressure in these changing rooms, and these boys are all, you know, they're the best. There's some good fighters here, and they're not performing. You know, these guys are not performing. He didn't perform for the first 2 rounds, but he's done great where he's come back from. Absolutely fantastic. But as you say, it's still anybody's fight, anybody's competition as far as I'm concerned.
That's a great assessment. There are fighters here who look like they're walking in quicksand. And there is. And that's the pressure. And that's what happens in these rooms. Nick's through a one.
Did you have him as favourite?
I had him. OK, don't remind me. Yes, I did have him as favourite. So that means 3 times out of 4, I've managed to get it wrong.
Budsy right in the thick of it. Look at this. What a setting in Manchester. It's Friday night. It's Ultimate Boxer 6. We're absolutely loving it. If you didn't enjoy that last fight, literally turn off the telly. We got nothing for you. We're hoping for another thriller in this semi-final. Mark Bennett waiting in the wings. Will it be that man, Danny Whitaker, or the guy you just heard from? Speaking to Budsy, Nick Webb. It's next. It's semi-final time. Come back in a couple of minutes. height. But who will he meet in the Ultimate Boxer 6 final? The second UB semi-final is served up on a plate for you right now. Let's go, Terry.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, Danny Whitaker!
So the big dog, Danny Whitaker, the least experienced boxer in Ultimate Boxer 6, jumping in anticipation of his place in the semi-final. But my goodness, didn't he perform on the stage magnificently against the polished boxing skills of Jonathan Palata, outworking the previously undefeated fighter out of the Peacock Gym in Canning Town, London. And that is how he has booked his place here at the final four stage. A unanimous point decision winner over Palata, 29-28 for all three judges. His rally in the closing stages of the third round, perhaps decisive in tilting the contest in his favor.
Yeah, and you can see he comes into the ring looking very confident now. You know, he's knocked off the tournament favorite. In his mind, nobody can stop him. And sometimes with these tournaments, it's all about getting momentum.
And now making his way to the ring, Nick Webb!
I'm a champion.
Well, Nick Webb returning to the boxing ring for the first time in 2019 tonight here at Ultimate Boxer 6 after a difficult conclusion to 2018, knocked out by Dave Allen, who's in attendance here at the O2 in London in July 2018. Bounced back with a win before being stopped by Kamil Sokolovsky, one of the quarterfinalists here. But he put the bit between his teeth in the third and final round to eke out a split decision victory over his familiar rival Chris Healy. 29-28 for all three judges, but two of them favoring the work of Nick Webb, who will now be heavily favored against the relatively inexperienced Danny Whitaker. But he has got to deliver here over the course of 3 3-minute rounds or less.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for semi-final number 2. And yet again scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in a heavyweight contest. Your referee at the bell, Mr. John Latham, and your three judges scoring ringside, Michael Alexander, Darren Sargentson, and Howard Foster. Introducing first and fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Danny Big Dog Whitaker! And introducing his opponent across the ring in the red corner, please welcome Nick Wild Webb! Referee will now give his final instructions to the boxers.
Right, lads, you know, I expect from you both, you obey my instructions at all times. When I tell you to break, you both break clean. Defend yourselves at all times. And the best luck to you both. Touch gloves.
So the second and final semi-final here at Ultimate Boxer 6 is underway between boxers of contrasting statures. The taller figure wearing the red shorts is Nick Webb. Good right uppercut landed, and the smaller boxer looking to get inside but just covering up after being forced onto the back foot is Danny Whitaker, springing the biggest surprise of the quarterfinals so far when he eliminated the previously undefeated Jonathan Palata.
Whitaker has to be careful with that uppercut the way he bends, but other than that, he's actually got a really good sense of positioning, despite it being a guy with not a lot of experience, both amateurs and pro. There he goes bending into the uppercut. He's sort of blocked it there, but he's got to be careful. I also like the way, because of his positioning, that he doesn't lose positioning when the other guy gets offensive. He's able to counter with a good jab. So let's see if he can translate into other things, or he can make the adjustments. Webb coming out very aggressively.
Despite being 17 stone, 11 pounds, 8 ounces, Danny Whittaker, he's outweighed by more than a stone by Nick Webb, who's looking to impose that bulk and physicality on Whittaker at close range. But you can see Whittaker banging away to the body when he gets on the inside. Whittaker with just 5 amateur contests. He takes a hard right uppercut by Webb, but just 5 amateur contests. In stark contrast, Nick Webb, an ABA finalist with 27 amateur bouts under his belt, winning 22 and losing just 5. But Webb negating his advantages of height and reach here, hit by an uppercut on the inside and then a right hand which strayed around the rear of his head.
This wrestling could also fatigue them both as well. You know, it's always tiresome when you start wrestling like that, especially if they're already big guys. It's a lot of weight to be pushing around.
So Webb looking to establish his lead, left hand getting up on his toes. Again, Whittaker looking to bang away to the body in close. Nice defensive work by Nick Webb, but then he took a hard right hand to the body. Whittaker looking to shoot shots through the middle. And Webb again, content to fight at short range, despite being a taller man, one of 2 6'5" operators here in Ultimate Boxer 6.
I think he's trying to do is maybe put his weight on top of his opponents of here, like Whittaker, who's a smaller guy. It's a nice jab by but maybe use his weight to tire out Whittaker.
When he gets up on his toes and snakes out that left hand, you can hear the amount of pop that he has behind it. Terrific lead left hand on a couple of occasions. Big lead right cross landed by Nick Webb. And remember, of his 13 victories, left hook after a right uppercut causes Danny Whittaker to wobble and wilt down to the canvas. He appears completely discombobulated. He's beaten the count, but his legs are completely gone. And Nick Webb scores his 12th inside the distance victory, knocking out Danny Whittaker in the opening round, and he progresses through to the final where Mark Bennett awaits. Danny Whittaker deserves immense credit. The man who was a 2-fight novice coming into this tournament, making it through to the semi-finals with a terrific semi-final victory. But Nick Webb's heavy-handed hitting ultimately bringing about an end to his Ultimate Boxer by stopping him in the opening round.
There's a good right hand that started the whole final salvo. Sharp, straight right hand by Webb. He led with it very nicely, and then Whittaker still trying to recover from that. He's holding inside. Webb suddenly creates. Look at the quick way he creates space really quickly. Watch what he does. Sets it up, and he takes that half step back, sets up that uppercut hook, and that's watch the half step back. Watch that. See that little little pump step back creates that space, and right off of that he punches. So Whittaker probably was still feeling the straight right hand he had just taken right before that, causing that clinch. So this combination right here finishes the job of an already hurt fighter. And Webb, this is what he needed, because he's going to have less rest because he's the second semifinal, but our other semifinals, Bennett, he's going to the finals. Is he going to the finals? We're up to the finals, yeah. Bennett is a guy who's had a lot of tough fights, so Webb needed to he was going to have shorter rest for having the second semifinal, so getting this knockout is really big for him, because Bennett is a guy who's had some tough fights.
So for the first time, the judges not needed here in Ultimate Boxer 6. It is Nick Webb who has prevailed with an inside distance victory. First round knockout winner. Let's get the particulars from our MC tonight, Terry Kavanagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Latham calls a stop to this bout at the official time of 2 minutes and 59 seconds of round number 1. Declaring your winner, and now the other half of the final of Ultimate Boxer 6, Nick Wild Webb!
So with just a second to go in the opening round, the referee, John Latham, calling off the contest. Danny Whittaker eliminated. And it is Nick Webb who goes through to the final where Mark Bennett awaits. And that is the two tallest fighters facing off for the Ultimate Boxer Robe. But good to see Danny Whittaker milking his moment in the spotlight because he acquitted himself magnificently in his quarterfinal.
Yeah, it caused the upset of the tournament. He's eliminated here. He caused the upset of the tournament. And yeah, we talked about these guys are the big boys. Well, in the finals, we have the biggest guys in the tournament. And so we'll see how that goes.
And now I'm with Nick Webb. After a tough first fight, coming into this one, getting a knockout in the first round, that must fill you with confidence.
Oh yeah, it was great. You know, Chris Seeley's awkward southpaw, so I was glad to get that win, and then to get this win like in good fashion like that is exactly what we're about.
Tell me, what was your game plan walking into this fight?
To be honest, I didn't have a game plan because I didn't know I was going to draw him. So literally just go to work, and that's what we do, search and destroy.
Search and destroy, you absolutely did, and now you're through to the final.
Thank you very much.
You're through to the final, enjoy it. Nick Webb, go rest.
So there we go, Nick Webb into the final of Ultimate Boxer 6 here in Manchester, where I'm ringside still with Amir Khan and Anthony Crolla. And I mean, look, when you look at the final lineup now, Nick Webb has had an easier route, hasn't he? But Danny Whittaker, just too much from it. As Paulie said in commentary there, he found the space for that first KO of UB6.
It was a lovely shot. Like I said, with the right hand started off, but it was good left hook to finish it. And said Danny Whittaker's done himself. His fans very proud, caused the upset of the tournament. But I think the pedigree of Nick Webb was going to come through, and it sets up a very sort of mouth-watering final.
So this is how he got there, and this is what Paulie said. He just finds the space here, doesn't he? And eventually finishes with a left hook.
We'll see now on the inside. There it is, the uppercut before it was a great shot as well, and it just took everything out of Danny's legs, hadn't it? It got up, he was on rocky legs, and it was a great call by the referee.
Definitely, I think Webb was physically the bigger guy, the stronger guy in the two, and I think he just come with a nice shot around the chin and just put him down, and you could see, you know, Whittaker never recovered from that, and I think even if he did try to, I mean, I think he would have got hurt quite badly.
Got up on shaky legs, it was a great call by the referee.
Is that just the experience there that we're seeing from Nick Webb?
Yeah, definitely. I think experience is everything in boxing. I think with the experience Webb has over most of the other fighters, you know, he's going to come out stronger. Now going into this next fight, especially in the finals, Webb and
Mark Bennett.
I think both of them have quite a lot of experience, you know, and I think the best man will win. It's hard to call that
Bennett's
fight.
had two brutal fights against Jay McFarlane and Josh Sandlin.
Well, that's true as well. Yeah, I think that's going to take a lot of toll.
It has, and that's why that first round win there, you've got to favour Webb going into the final.
Yes.
As good as you can't count Bennett out after, you know, the two fights that he's been in, but going into the final, you expect Webb to be much the fresher man.
No,
and with the experience of the fights he's been in, you've got to lean towards Webb. However, it's Ultimate Boxer, and we've been wrong a few times tonight already.
When you're blowing in fights, Amir, I mean, how does it affect your decisions? You know, when you've been in those battles like Bennett has been in.
You know, it's like when you want to say, you might think I want to throw a jab, but you might not be able to throw that jab. Or if you want to throw a combination, your body just won't let you throw that shot. If you do throw it, it'll become quite slow, and you'll end up getting caught. Or you know, you might get caught even before thinking about throwing that shot. So times like that can happen in a fight.
Is there an argument though to say that Nick Webb, because he hasn't been in too much of a scrap this evening so far, that you know he still might have that to come when he's not in tune?
I know which one I'd prefer. Listen, the fight with Chris Seeley was a close fight.
Yeah.
He took a few good shots, but like you asked him here then, but as well when you're tired, you can take away punch resistance.
Yeah.
And it's just your mind's wanting to do things, but your body just won't allow you. And that's what we might see. That's what we've seen in a few of the fights. Being tired, the fighters landing big shots. They go down. Wouldn't have been shots that they put them over at the start of the fight.
And I think Bennett from fight number one has just been in wars. Throughout the whole competition, the whole tournament, he's had a lot of wars, and I think he loves the war as well. Whereas Webb's had more of a boxer. He's been quite skillful and used his boxing skills to win.
Right, let's hear from Steve Bunce, because he's backstage catching up with Mark Bennett after finding out that he's going to play. He's going to fight Nick Webb in this final for Ultimate Boxer 6.
Mark, you now know who you're fighting in the final. Nick Webb looked in control, simply looked too big. But you've had 6 brutal, savage rounds. I can't conceal it. They've been unbelievable.
Yeah, mate, I've made hard work on both the fights, and the kids have both turned up, and we've had a good scrap. But yeah, Nick Webb, he's obviously finished his man early now.
So I've had more rounds tonight, but I'm just going to take it to him the same way, mate, and then we'll see what happens. I'll leave it all in that ring.
What you've done in that your semi-final, which might just be the greatest ever Ultimate Boxer fight, and certainly the third round was the best Ultimate Boxer round, is that you've actually taken every fight at full speed, unbelievable pace. Are you feeling it, or is that the silliest question I've ever asked?
I feel like I'm getting old, mate, but I've got another 3 rounds in me, definitely, and then we'll just... but yeah, I'm good. We'll have a quick warm-up, and then we'll get back to it, see where we're at.
And going in against Nick Webb, he's a big guy, he can bang a little bit, but you're just going to have to go in and make out it's round 7 of your 9-round night.
Yeah, mate, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll drag him into a dogfight again. Obviously, I know Nick's a better boxer than me. I'm under no illusions in that. I'm raw. But like I say, I'll get in there, I'll get on his chest, and I'll drag him down.
Get on his chest and drag him down. Mark, it's been a pleasure covering you all night. Mark Bennett, 2 unbelievable wars, now in the final.
Yeah, plenty of honesty there, wasn't there, from Mark Bennett, who says Nick Webb is the better boxer. This is what it looks like inside the Planet Ice in Altrincham, just outside of Manchester. What a night it's been for Ultimate Boxer 6, and there is plenty more to come, because that man on the right is into the showpiece final after knocking out Danny Whittaker, the first KO of UB6, and the final is not far away. Do not go away. We'll see you soon here live on BT Sport. Welcome back to the last 2 standing in Ultimate Boxer 6. Mark Bennett and Nick Webb are in that showpiece after coming through 2 tough rounds of action. But as they take a bit of a short rest, there's no let-up here in Manchester. He has sold out York Hall and continues to make a name for himself here in the UK. In his home country of Albania, he is something of a legend, having been undefeated for 10 years in a number of disciplines. Tonight, he goes up against the upcoming Brit, Nathan Benden. Over to the ring. It's time for Florian Marku. Here's Terry Kavanagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it is time for a special feature bout. We are scheduled for 6 rounds in a welterweight contest. Your referee in charge of the action at the bell, Mr. Darren Sargington. Introducing first and fighting out of the blue corner. He officially weighed in at 10 stone, 7 pounds and 12 ounces. He brings to the ring a professional record of 3 wins and 1 loss. And wearing the black shorts from Sutton Coldfield, West Midlands, please welcome Nathan Benden. And introducing his opponent across the ring in the red corner, he officially weighed in at 10 stone, 6 pounds. He brings to the ring a perfect professional record of 5 wins and no losses. Tonight wearing the red shorts from Albania, by way of London, England. Make some noise for Florian TNT Marku. Referee will now give his final instructions to the boxers.
Keep it clean, don't anything low, watch your head, and when I say break, take a step. Most importantly, defend yourself all times.
So we're in the welterweight division in this contest, scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. The boxer wearing black, shaded with white, is Nathan Benden from Sutton Coldfield in the West Midlands. Brings to the ring a 4-fight record, 3 victories, 1 defeat. Fighting for the 4th time in 2019 tonight, and last time out in November scored his first knockout in the professional ranks, stopping the previously undefeated Levi Kinsiona, who was 6-0 going into that contest in the 7th round of a bout scheduled for 8. In stark contrast, Florian Marku was taking the professional distance for the first time last time out. We were ringside for that fight, Paulie,
yes,
at the Indigo Theatre in London on Ultimate Boxer 5.
That's Marku turned southpaw.
But he's an action-packed individual. He's the former kickboxer and MMA specialist who is an absolute superstar in his native Albania. This fight being carried live there. That's a nice left hook, but then look at the response it brings from Marku. Terrific exchange in the opening round.
Yeah, absolutely. Both guys willing to trade and willing to engage at that short range, as they showed there in that salvo.
Beautiful work to both body and head, but a counter left hook is the final word in response from Benden. Good work to the body. So not being intimidated by the presence of Marku and the considerable fan base that he brings. Nice straight right hand to the body by the boxer in black.
Marku keeps switching stances, looking to create the openings.
Targeted the body well with a left hook beneath the right elbow. That's a jolting left jab. Went for the same shot again, but nice movement from the head. With the head from Benden. Good double left hand from Marku, who's operating as a port-sided boxer once again. Benden coming back with punches of his own on the inside. Terrific work at mid and short range by both of these men, and the body punching has been something to behold from both boxers.
Absolutely, they're both making that investment in the bank here in round 1. You can see Marku is a bit more polished, but Benden not to be undone. You know, he may not be as polished as Marku. Body shot there, kind of low.
Thought that was a very low. And referee Darren Sargington on it in a flash. My goodness. Considerably south of the belt line. And the belt line not just a fashion item or to help the trunk stay up. No. That is to help the ref to determine whether a blow is fair or foul.
Absolutely. Although Benden's trunks are at his belly button, which usually means the belt is legal. I just don't know if it was below the belt.
Looking to attempt the body, target the body again, and is Benden.
And exactly, they're both going to the body very well.
Less switching from Marku in this closing minute of the first round. And as I say that, he turns back to the orthodox stance. Nice head movement once again from Benden in the closing stages of this first round. Nice left jab from Marku, who's looking to get onto the front foot. Benden trying to box off the back foot, takes a hard shot to the body and then the head. Good work upstairs and downstairs from Marku, who's looking to quicken the tempo in the closing stages of the very first round. A very competitive round, but perhaps that final burst from Marku tilting it in his favor.
Yeah, Marku getting a little bit in the head of Benden by not just getting to the body and then creating openings, but also keeps covering that gap, covering that step so that he keeps backing him up. And Benden will look a little bit confused at the end of that round.
So here's the bell. The blow that was below the belt.
Yeah, and then Benden called his own low blow there. He's like, oh, no. That was, it was a bit below the belt. Like I said, Benden's trunks are above his belly button, so the belt will be legal, but it's below the belt there. There's some more investments to the body there from Marku later in the round as well.
The second round underway, the bell not even audible, such is the atmosphere that is being generated here at the Planet Ice Arena in Altrincham. Benden after being forced onto the back foot in the closing stages of round number one, beginning the second frame on the front foot. Trying to take it to Marku, but he's being backed up once again. Good work to the body once more, the final punch of that three-shot salvo from Marku.
Benden tough, he's game in there, but you see the little subtle things Marku does. Mid-combination, he'll actually throw a feint sometimes to kind of get you going the wrong way. In the middle of a combination and then continue the combination.
When he was an orthodox boxer just a few moments ago, Marku had terrific success with the jab, but that's a nice lead right uppercut from Benden. Brings a flash of the black gum shield from Florian Marku.
I think that Benden likes Marku more as a southpaw. He has more success when he turns southpaw.
Glancing shots to the rib cage once again from Benden, and even though they may not be sinking in fully, remember we saw George Groves shot Jamie Cox with a shot like that. The glancing shot across the torso can be debilitating.
Yeah, sometimes those do hurt.
Beautiful lead left hand once again from Marku. Benden remaining composed and in his stance, looking for his openings on the inside before tying his man up. Now Darren Sargentson saying, well, don't wait for me, I'm allowing you to work away.
You see there, Marku didn't get any jabbed, he feinted, and then saw the cover up from Benden before continuing. And again, Benden gets right back to work. Maybe he doesn't land as cleanly as Marku, but he lets him know he's there.
Beautiful left jab once again, and then hard punches to the body from Marku. Right hand, left hand into the rib cage of Benden. But Benden remaining organized and still looking to find holes in Marku's defenses. Heads come together there. Inside the final minute of the second round, and the atmosphere here is absolutely electric, and it's mostly being generated by Marku's passionate fan base. Cracking, snaking left hand is the final shot of that cluster from Benden. Look at the response that elicits from Marku. Tries to get onto the front foot and scores with a jolting left jab once again. It'd be interesting to know whether he's a right-handed or left-handed southpaw, because when he's in the orthodox stance, his left jab really is heavy and sharp and accurate.
Yeah, he's very, very active with the left hand out of both stances. I'm starting to think he's naturally a left-hander.
Well, the heavier shots and perhaps the more eye-catching shots. Oh, that's a savage left hand to the body, and then followed up by a right hand upstairs, but Benden looking to fire back during the course of that exchange. Terrific boxing in the second round of this welterweight contest.
Yeah, Benden holding still, he's game in there like we said, but Marku with the more quality work.
So backstage ahead of the final of Ultimate Boxer 6, Mark Bennett, Bad News Bennett from Doncaster, the former soldier, going through his warm-ups. In the locker room, his opponent, Nick Webb, taking an all-together, more laid-back approach. Remember, he boxed in the second semi-final, but expended far less energy because he got his man out of there in the first round. Let's listen in.
Come on, we're going to be nationals now. Come on. 2 rounds even. Even 2 rounds. National now. Don't be fucking smiling, let's go back. It's hurting when you...
Once again, the bell not audible here. Warrior Mark, who has got such passionate, loyal, fervent supporters, sold 800 tickets for his contest in July at the O2 Arena. Just been taken up, or just signed a contract recently with a new management team, because his fighting prowess and talent is undeniable. And when you've got a fan base like this, combined with this type of star power and talent, well, with the right management, you can probably take this guy places.
Yeah, actually, it is a business after all. And again, go to the body language of Marco. When Brendan does throw the shots and he tries to become dangerous, he doesn't really lose position. He kind of holds his ground, and that can also get in the head of the opponent where he can't back you off of him. Because Brendan is throwing shots and he's trying to get Marco off of him, but Marco's not going anywhere.
And this is exactly the type of nice recovery from Bendon, who again is showing real competitive spirit in there. Saw Marku lose his footing and he tried to help himself to a free shot. But Marku demonstrated this type of quality in the last time we saw him against Miroslav Serban at the Indigo at O2. Serban was really competitive in the contest, but he just refuses to change his demeanor, refuses to change his intensity despite what he's taking.
Yeah, he's not really respecting the power of Bendon. Bendon is loading shots, trying to get that respect. For lack of a better example, this looks like exactly what Floyd Mayweather did to Conor McGregor. He's sort of just walking him down, and he gets close. He's sort of becoming active. But Marco's staying with a high guard and just trying to consistently get in the head of Bendon by not giving ground and walking him down.
So beyond the midpoint of the third round here. Good left hand to the body, landed by both boxers. It's Marku who fired first, and an exchange of jabs.
They're clash of heads there, they gotta be careful. They're starting to fight at a closer and closer range now as Marku's upping the pressure.
Marku coming forward, he was square on momentarily, neither orthodox nor southpaw. Bendon feinting with the feet, but not pulling the trigger on his lead left hand. Good work to the body from Bendon. Marku comes through with a rapier-like right jab and then a cracking left cross. There's the backhand in evidence once again out of the southpaw stance, and then a check left hook. He scored with it, then laid back, and now he's inviting pressure on the ropes.
Yeah, I guess now he's trying to see if he can create openings in a different way. You see that high guard again. He's not pressing now, but you see he's trying to hold his ground. He's kind of letting Bendon shoot, and then he wants to come right back. And here you're going to see now that he's going to look for the follow-up assault.
And again, Marku has just been capable. That's this terrific left hand to the body once again. But in every round, as competitive as the rounds have been, it is Florian Marku who is landing the work of superior quality and heavier authority.
Yeah, and heavier authority, superior quality, and it's not deterring Bendon, and that's the quality of Bendon as well. Mentally, he's in the fight, he's strong. It's just he's a little bit subpar to what Marku has.
So I'm here with Florian supporters and they're showing him huge support. He's boxing really well. Guys, how's your guy getting on? How's he getting on? How's your boy getting on? Come on guys, your boy!
Honestly, 1,000 people from all England, Scotland, all over to support Florian Marku. He's a big man with a big heart, and we look forward to the future. He will be on top very soon. All England will know who is Florian Marku. He's a guy with a very big heart.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm loving the support, guys, loving the support.
So into the second half of this welterweight contest that is scheduled for 6, 3 rounds completed, a potential 3 rounds underway. been a terrifically competitive contest so far. I don't think there's any doubt that it's Florian Marku who is leading the contest, but Nathan Benden, the boxer in black, is very much in the contest. Refusing to buckle, refusing to show any signs of weakness. That's a nice lead left hook landed by Marku, who after taking a look for the opening 30 seconds or so is now on the front foot, but Benden trying to show that he's willing to engage in trades, but he was just outgunned during the course of that exchange by Marku. Again, cries of Marku reverberating here around the Altrincham Ice Palace. Terrific punch-picking once again, and here in the fourth round, everything being predicated off a jolting left jab from Florian Marku.
That was an example of it right there. As Benden does do some decent things, but then Marku lands the better quality.
So Marku dipping at the knees effectively to make Benden miss initially, but Benden remaining, again, confident in his skill set and continuing to come forward behind an educated left hand of his own. But it's Marku who you just get the sense is dictating the terms of this contest. There's a nice right hook around the corner and a beautiful left hook to the body from Marku. The right rib cage of Benden being reddened by the accurate punch picking of Florian Marku. Nice straight left hand to the body from Benden. Nice left hand and then a right hand over the top from Marku. And again, it's Marku who just is quickening and slowing the tempo as he likes.
Yes, exactly. And this is where he just decides he's going to walk his guy down. And Benden does decent work there, but again, it doesn't deter Marku. He just takes it on the gloves and trying to mentally break his opponent by not giving ground.
Oh, that's a cracking left uppercut, but again, Benden, not deterred, came back with a right hook of his own. And then a nice right hook, left hook combination from Benden.
Yeah, I tell you, it's difficult to knock the belief out of Benden. You know, he's doing decent work. Marku's doing the more quality work, but Benden, despite even when he's being walked down and whatnot, you know, he's looking at, here he is complaining about the headbutts. But, you know, despite even when the work is more quality, he's trying to still give, even if it's not as good as what Marku's doing. And Marku's a bit aggravated with the headbutt.
Most certainly. Marku displaying a little bit of displeasure after the heads clashed. Florian Marku's manager, new management team, is with Layla now. Let's hear what Sam Jones has got to say.
I'm joined now by Sam Jones, the agent of Florian Marku. Now tell me, how is that going for you right now? An impressive performance so far.
Yeah, it's a good performance so far from Florian. He's landing the better work. He's just got to press the fight, and I think he can get him out of there.
Now tell me as well about Ultimate Boxer as a whole. I know you've been enjoying the evening here. What do you think of the format?
Say again?
About Ultimate Boxer as a whole, looking at the format, how's your night been?
It's a great show, and we're looking forward to the final after this.
All right, thank you. I'll let you get back to it. Enjoy.
Well, this has been a very entertaining welterweight contest so far. The undefeated Florian Marku has met with a really competitive operator here tonight, Nathan Benden. For what it's worth, I've got him trailing in this contest, but he's in the contest for every second of every round, showing tremendous quality, tremendous composure, and his belief remains absolute that he can find a way to turn this thing in his favor. Lots of quality and evidence from Nathan Benden. Florian Marku just with the edge in most departments.
Yeah, you can tell the body language of Benden is not that of a guy who's just trying to survive now. He's still trying to win every single round, even backing up Marku at times.
Nice lead left hook and then a cracking corkscrew left to end the three-shot salvo from Benden. Marku with a quiet start to this penultimate round. Now Marku trying to up his work rate once again, getting onto the front foot and backing up Benden. Nice lead left hand again, going behind the right glove of Marku from Benden. And even though it's Marku who's getting over the front foot, looking to walk his man down, Benden boxing very well in reverse gear.
I think Marku could probably be a bit more active with his own jab too. You know, because he's trying to walk. And I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to psychologically break Benden, but Benden is a guy who obviously his determination is not going to be broken. So you probably want to try different things offensively, try to get to him in that way instead. But Benden, you're not going to break Benden's belief at this point. You kind of know what he is. So you know, one of the things Marku could do is use more jabs from the outside, maybe even double and triple them up. Try to set up some big cross shots, like a left cross or a right cross if he's in the right-handed stance. But he's not made that adjustment. See there, when he doubles and triples it, he establishes that distance. And when you establish that distance, you can get more leverage on your right hands and hooks.
So perhaps the lowest amount of offense we've seen from Florian Marku here in this 5th round. Being encouraged to come on, being goaded by Benden. But Marku just remaining in his own game plan. There's plenty of joy taking place up there in the boxing ring. And now in the closing stages, Marku looking to increase the tempo once again. Benden with his best round of the entire contest.
Yeah, he's getting into this thing.
Not in terms of quality, but most certainly in terms of success, because Marku not as busy in that penultimate round. Let's listen in.
Keep it long, very easy one, long. And then if it comes close, quick first, and then... You've got right now. You've got to win this round. No, I want free spot box now. I fucking want it. I've got to have it right. I've got to have free spot box. I've got to have it. I'll give a fucking...
Well, the decibel level here at the Planetized Arena in Altrincham is near deafening. Florian Marku coming out for the 6th and final round of this welterweight contest after his quietest round of the bout to date in round 5. Benden, encouraged by that, is looking to start brightly once again. Now remember, if this does go the distance, it's going to be down to the verdict of Darren Sargentson. He's the man with the best vantage point in the entire house. We think Marku is clearly in front, but Benden has proven impossible to discourage through the 5 completed rounds so far, and he feels that he's still in this contest and got a chance to win it. Nice right hand from Marku. And again, kicking his man off well with a right hand left hook. Now looking to maraud his man with a furious attack. Benden has lost his footing. And while he was disorganized, getting tangled up in the ropes and the advertising platform, well, it's been ruled as a knockdown. Well, I think he's really unfortunate there, Nathan Benden. But the knockdown has been counted. Referee Darren Sargentson probably ruling that the ropes kept Benden up.
Which they would have if it really was a knockdown, but I mean it wasn't. It was he slipped off that advertisement on the outside of the rope and then needed the rope to keep him up from that. He's game though, look at him, he's coming right back.
Terrific competitive fire being demonstrated by Nathan Benden.
Good combination by Marku there.
Backhand wasn't too far away from Marku, who changed his stance as he marches his man down once again. And again, Benden full of defiance as he goes looking for his man. Plenty of goading, plenty of grinning, as if to say, okay, let's do this. Rolling up their sleeves, nice right uppercut, left hook combination from Benden. Benden desperate to take Marku's O here in Altrincham tonight, but now that he's got the insurance of a 10-8 round, short of knocking him out. I would suggest that's increasingly unlikely.
I like that Bendon's not taking no for an answer, though. You know, these are the kind of guys you need. You know, even if they're put there as the B side and they're put there to lose, they don't get the memo. They come out fighting.
So closing seconds of the 6th and final round. A round where Bendon was given a count after becoming disorganized over by the blue corner. And he's still snarling defiantly in the closing throes of this final 3-minute frame. A terrific contest.
And credit to both guys. You know, Marco had to show some quality, but Bendon never tried to survive that fight. He was always trying to win the fight. He was always trying to impose himself, even if he was behind and I knew he was behind. And even if when he lost the extra point in the last round for the wrongly called knockdown, he was still fighting the whole way. You know, you see a lot of opponents just kind of pack in the last round and just be content to go the distance, or even be content to get taken out of there late. He was always trying to win the fight.
Huge credit deserves to be put in Nathan Bendon's direction. Played his part in what was a really entertaining welterweight bout, but there can be little doubt that it's this man, the man in red, who is the victor, as we see where the knockdown occurs.
You see right there, so you see his back foot, his right foot kind of slid off on the rope, and the ref had already jumped in. You see it from this angle. Watch his back leg, watch the right leg. There it is, right there.
The right hand went in from Florian Marku, which just increased the man's disorganization, but you can see it was the loss of footing on the advertising on the rim perimeter, which was the main cause of Nathan Bendon losing his boxing stance. So, Darren Sargison in position with both boxers now. We can hand up to Terry Kavanagh to get the verdict at the conclusion of that 6-round welterweight affair.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for both fighters. They put on a great show for us. After 6 great rounds, we go to the scorecards. Referee Darren Sargison scores about 60 points to 55 in favor of your winner, Florian Marku.
Well, Florian Marku's fans are absolutely ecstatic. He extends his unbeaten record to a perfect 6-0 here with a points victory over Nathan Bendon, who was incredibly spirited throughout, very skilled as well, playing his part in what was a really entertaining welterweight contest. He may have lost the bout on points, but make no mistake, he was in all of the 6 completed rounds.
Yeah, and he showed his own quality as well here on this level. Marco is a quality operator, and you know, Bendon is also a quality operator himself, who doesn't get the opponent memo.
Joins me now live on air. What an impressive performance.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank my Albanian fans here. I love you all, every single one. Thank you very much. Everybody knows that I live in London, but Albanian people follow me everywhere. Thank you a lot.
Let's talk about them, because they do indeed follow you everywhere. They were incredibly loud tonight. Any words of thank you to them?
Yes, thank you a lot. It was a good fight. I didn't want to say nothing, but I have fight this fight with the temperature. I had 39 temperature before I fight, but I don't make excuses. I fight, I win. The Nathan Bendon is a very experienced fighter. He has many fights in a Muay Thai like me, and he has very tough head. I give him some good punches, but he didn't fall. Congratulations also to him.
Florian, thank you so much. Congratulations, an emphatic win. Well done.
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Congratulations, Florian. Have a great night.
Thank you a lot. I want to thank my fans, my trainers, George Armagos, Don Charles, Thibaut, and my managers, Siam Boxing, Adam Morales, and Sam Jones. Thank you a lot.
Yeah, welcome to Altrincham, Albania. They are here in their numbers supporting Florian Marku. Anthony Crolla and Amir Khan with me here live on BT Sport ringside, waiting for the final of Ultimate Boxer 6. And in terms of a little sandwich filler to keep everyone entertained, what a scrap that was, boys.
Perfect, and a great learning fight for Marku. Bendon, quality opponent. He didn't read the script, Paulie picked up on it. He wasn't there just to see out the distance, you know, to do 6 rounds. He asked a lot of questions of Marku, and he answered them. And with this support, I'm looking forward to following the journey.
Yeah, there's been a lot of hype, Amir, around Florian Marku. He's an absolute sensation. He's a celebrity in Albania. But now with 6 wins, 6-0 under his belt, where can he go, do you think, having watched that?
Yeah, I think, he's going to step it up now. He has great style, he has great movement, a lot of power.
Who did you see him taking on in that welterweight division?
In the welterweight division, I'm a welterweight. Not me. I mean, look, yeah, I don't fancy it. I think there's a few good welterweights out there for him. Look, I think if he goes a British route or maybe goes a European route, there's some good fights out there for him. But like, he's only had 6 fights. I think another couple of more fights. I think
more
that'll push him up.
fights like that. I think that kind of opponent was perfect for him. Do you want an opponent who's going to lie down, going to ask questions? We come to win. I think he needs steadily 8 rounds, 10 rounds, and then start looking at titles.
Once he gets a little bit more experience and he gets a couple of more rounds under his belt, and he gets to know how to use his power and his movement and the distance quite well, I think he will go far. He's got a good style.
We saw him last time out as well in London, didn't we? And Granit Xhaka and Jordan Shaqiri, the Liverpool and Arsenal players were in the crowd as well. He's got a huge following. I think he's more active on Instagram than you are, Amir.
Is he? Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Getting the fan base, and obviously you see the building today. I mean, it's full of his fans. I couldn't believe it. I mean, the flags were out, and the noise they were making, quite loud. So, I mean, that all comes from social media, and I think he's started young, so started early as well. So I think it's great for him.
Right, so we're building up to the final, aren't we? And this is why we're here, because we are going to crown Ultimate Boxer 6 champion. It's Mark Bennett taking on Nick Webb. Your thoughts going into this one, Anthony?
Listen, you can never count Mark Bennett out. He's shown that in the first 2 semi-finals. I just believe the fresher man, being Nick Webb, will catch up with Mark Bennett at some point. But I love his attitude. You can't not love Mark Bennett's attitude. He's just like, yeah, get in, we have a fight, and we see how we go. And I know we'll do the same again. He'll leave absolutely everything in there. But if he has to pick a winner, I think it's hard not to go with Nick Webb going off those, the previous semi-finals that we've just seen.
I know that Webb's had a bit of an easy run to the final, whereas Bennett has had a lot of wars. But I just feel that Bennett might just take it. I mean, with the aggressive style he's got, with the pressure he puts on his opponents, I think he might be able to take it. So I lean more towards Bennett in this one.
So here is a reminder then of who is in the final of Ultimate Boxer 6. The man on the left, Mark Bennett, taking on Nick Webb in the red shorts. We've already heard from Mark, and Bunsey has been catching up with Nick.
In the dressing room with Nick Webb, still sweating, just having his gloves taken off, fresh from his win. Sensible, Nick. That was a little bit of, a bit of experience there, a little bit of class.
Yeah, mate. Danny Whitaker is very raw, so I knew if I'd used my boxing ability, I would beat him.
But even though it was relatively easy and it ended quick, you're still about to go into your 3rd fight of the night. It's a hard and grueling competition. Is it surprising you how hard it is?
I tell you what, it's what's hard is just the dealing with the nerves. That's all. Because you get, when you get in a fight, it's like you've already done 3 rounds. That's why everyone looks like they're drowning in the sand. Yeah. And obviously you're warming up, warming down, warming up, warming down. So, but I feel good and I feel fit. So let's go.
And now you've got Bennett in the final. He's been in 6 unbelievably savage rounds. Yeah. Do you have to approach it like he hasn't been in those rounds? Or is that somewhere in your mind, Nick? You're an honest man.
Yeah, I just have to approach it like, well, it's all mind games, yeah? Your mind is stronger than your body, so just don't give up mentally, and I'm going to walk through him.
Now, I've taken a minute of your 30-minute recovery time. What are you going to do for the other 26, 27?
I'm just going to chill. Chill.
Chill and chill.
Chill.
Oh, we're ready for a final. Nick Webb certainly is.
We are indeed, Bunsey. The time has come. The moment that this sold-out crowd here in Manchester have been waiting for, it now comes down to the final 3 rounds of 3 minutes between Mark Bennett and Nick Webb. The Golden Robe on the line, as is 50 grand. Here is Terry Kavanagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, Nick Webb! I'm a champion. I'm a killer. Why the hell is y'all pretending we just youngins? Ever second guessed it, cause we always had a vision. I'm a beast, I'm a dog. Tell me what's the plan of action when I tell you.
Well, Nick Webb has competed in 2 contrasting contests tonight. His quarterfinal win was a hard-fought split decision victory over his familiar adversary, Chris Healy. He got the nod in that one in split decision fashion, 29-28 for all three judges, two of them scoring in favor of Webb. And then in the semi-final, he scored the only stoppage we've seen in Ultimate Boxer 6 so far, when he got his opponent Danny Whitaker out of there with a second to go in the opening round with a right uppercut, left hook combination. So despite having boxed in the second semi-final, he exerted far less energy in that second semi, and as we've seen in previous editions, Paulie, that could well be crucial for how this final goes.
Yeah, especially the way the first fight went. The first fight was very competitive, you know, with Healy. You know, I thought he pulled it out very late in the fight. But, you know, that second fight, especially that he has less rest, it's really important he got that quick knockout.
And now making his way to the ring, Mark Bennett!
Well, Mark Bennett has been involved in two bouts that have been absolutely grueling. He probably conceded the first round against the Glaswegian Ghost, Jay McFarlane, in his quarterfinal, but produced a spirited rally which he was able to sustain deep into the third round and prevail with a split decision win to progress through to the semi-final. Then in his semi, my goodness, he faced Josh Sandland, the smallest man in the tournament, put him on the floor in the first round, put him on the floor in the second round, only to be subjected to a non-stop assault for the final 3 minutes. But he came out on top, a unanimous point decision winner. But those were hard contests that he's been engaged in the quarter and semi.
Yes, and let's see, because sometimes that plays a factor in the final if he gets that far. Mark Bennett has still never lost a fight. He came into this tournament never having lost an amateur fight and a professional fight, and here he is in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to that time. This is the main event of the evening. 3 3-minute rounds in the final of the Ultimate Boxer 6, the heavyweights. Your referee at the bell, Mr. Howard Foster, and your 3 judges scoring ringside, John Latham, Michael Alexander, and Darren Sargington. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to those watching on BT Sports, and to you in attendance, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to go down! If you are ready to see some heavyweight action, make some noise! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he officially weighed in at 18 stone, 12 pounds and 12 ounces. From Surrey, England, please welcome Nick Webb. And introducing his opponent across the ring in the red corner, he officially weighed in at 18 stone, 4 pounds and 6 ounces. From Doncaster, England, please welcome Mark Bad News Bennett. Referee will now give his final instructions to the boxers.
On Nick. Okay, fellas, both all the rules, keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both you watch your heads close, good luck to you both, just close. Good luck, lads.
Howard Foster just telling Scott Ross to get a move on in terms of his exit from the ring.
That was a long last meeting.
So we're underway then. We're in the final in the heavyweight tournament here at Ultimate Boxer 6. 2 6'5" operators. 3 boxers weighed in at over 18 stone at yesterday's weigh-in, and 2 of them are squaring off here in the battle for the Golden Robe. The boxer wearing the scarlet and red shorts is Nick Webb, who progressed through from the semi-final with a first-round stoppage. His 12th of his career in his 14 victories, 2 of them coming tonight, of course. showing a good left hand. The man wearing the grey shorts, who's just been pinned in the neutral corner, is Mark Bennett. Bad News Bennett from Doncaster, competing in his 7th round here tonight. Beautiful left jab from Webb. How important is that most basic of punches going to be in this final?
It's very, very important because Bennett doesn't give you a lot of head movement. He tries to kind of plod forward. So you can walk in, there's another jab by Webb. You can kind of stiffen with the jab all night if you're smart enough. Oh, there, out of the meat.
Loading up on backhands, but Webb's left jab has been a really eye-catching shot during the course of the first half of this first round. And now he's putting combinations together behind it as well. The same lead left hand in evidence once more before a spearing right cross to the body. Good right uppercut from Bennett. Well, there's not much subtlety about the work of Bennett in his opening round so far, but he is bringing the fury and he lands a big right hand, and Webb goes down. Well, Howard Foster saying no knockdown. He maybe have been pushed down in the final analysis, but there's no doubt that an absolutely power-driving right hand landed just before he tripped to the canvas.
There's some mean intentions on both of these guys when they throw the right hand. I tell you, both guys throwing some heavy, heavy shots at times.
Inside the final minutes of the opening round, looking to load up on that right hand once again. It was Webb, but it was repelled effectively by Bennett, who covered up with behind his gloves.
And Webb back on the jab now. That's been a key weapon here in round one.
Oh my goodness, telegraphing that right hand once again, and then the right hand from Bennett came by a second-class post.
Yeah, and both guys really putting some mean intentions on those overhand rights they're throwing at times.
Bennett leaving his head in the face of Webb. Rather naughty in that regard. Howard Foster on it immediately. But the left hand is a really educated weapon from Nick Webb, and that has probably been the difference in this opening round.
I think, I think you should really stick with it. Webb is trying to look for some big shots, and I don't consider anything wrong with that because, you can try to end the fight early, but you can really make his night a lot easier here in the finals. He just sticks with the left hand and educated left jab.
So very good use of the lead left hand from Nick Webb during the course of that 3-minute opening round. Let's see if we can listen into the instructions of Scott Welch.
See the action from the round. There's a good uppercut by Bennett. Bennett has a sneaky uppercut. We've seen it from time to time over the course of the night. And it sent... There was nothing really landed there. I'll tell you, that all started with the uppercut. But let's see, against the ropes, actually it was Webb who actually landed a partial right hand there. And there was the shot by... It looks like they both kind of landed it. But and in the end, this is ruled a slip because Webb kind of fell in, and the referees ruled that kind of pushed them down. But let's see it. I'll say it again. Webb can make his night a lot easier if he just sticks with the jab and stops looking for these crazy overhand rights. He can probably stick some straight right hands in there, some short hooks in there, and keep everything educated and short. And I don't think he'll deal with a lot of trouble. But if he starts to try to look for big shots, he's going to give Bennett a chance to also look for big shots.
And he started with the lead left hand effectively in his second round. A looping right hand over the top in response from Bennett was his first success of the stanza. So Bennett wading his way forwards once again and making Webb look a little bit disorganized in the corner. There's a nice change of position from Webb, and then he shoved Bennett's head into the turnbuckle for good measure.
Yeah, Bennett came out with some meaner intentions this round. He wanted to get some work done.
Common opponents on the records of both boxers are Kamil Sokolowski and Chris Healy. Mark Bennett has beaten both of those men. Good right hand, and Webb is shaken down to his bootstraps. Webb on unsteady legs now, trying to regain his composure. Bennett all over him. He's got to be careful that he doesn't smother his work.
Yeah, and Webb is going to try to kind of smother it as well. Now Webb's actually shooting some shots.
So Webb comes back with a nice lead right hand of his own. Good right hand to the body, and then a left to the other flank from Webb. Shots becoming a little bit more languid now from Bennett. They weren't rapid fire to begin with in this heavyweight final. Remember, he's got 6 hard-fought rounds under his belt already tonight, but he continues to come forward. Oh, that's a cracking left hook from Nick Webb, my goodness.
Yeah, you saw a blotch of blood fly out from Bennett.
And again, just using that left hand terrifically, Nick Webb. And when it does, look at the distance that it puts between himself and the opponent.
Yes, and it leaves Bennett in a position where he has trouble setting up his own offense. So you also disarm Bennett.
So a minute to go. Good work to body and head, and that has driven Bennett back to the neutral corner. Heavy shots thudded in from both flanks from Nick Webb. And these are just slowing Bennett down now. You get the sense deep into this second round. His spirit remains willing, but does he have the energy to demonstrate his intentions? Lovely left hand once again.
And look, those jabs prevent Bennett from being able to set up his offense. I mean, he can't get started if he keeps taking that jab to the face. Look at the body language of Bennett. He doesn't know how to get started if that thing stays in his face.
But every time he comes forward, trying a sneaky right hand again, and that's what his offense is being reduced to now. Good work to the head and then the body from Nick Webb. Bennett getting into close range. Referee Howard Foster coming between these two 6'5", 18-stone plus behemoths. Mark Bennett, 18 stone 4, 6 ounces. Nick Webb, the heaviest man in the tournament, at 18 stone 12 pounds, 12 ounces. A very good round from Nick Webb, all predicated off that beautiful lead left hand. Mark Bennett has got a lot to do in the third and final round.
And the shame for Bennett is he landed a nice overhand right early in the round. But then it was all Webb after that. And we saw right there, that was a big overhand right. And you thought, for a second, he's actually stumbling Webb and he was going to get him out of there. But you see it there. Now you see it on the replay, you see Webb kind of did roll with that a little bit, but still sent him reeling a little bit off balance. But after this, you saw Bennett trying to get the finish. He didn't get the finish, and then just nice shots there by Webb. The rest of the round was very much controlled by Webb. The big hook there in that replay sequence, but also a lot of jabs that just disarmed and controlled Bennett, and really can be uncomfortable as you're getting tired and you can't get out of the way of them.
Well, it's been a compelling heavyweight final so far here at Ultimate Boxer 6. Nick Webb, the more experienced operator ring, the red shorts, has used his left hand wonderfully during the course of this contest. Mark Bennett has had some successes as well, most notably with a booming overhand right in the second round, but for the most part, it's the left hand that has been the key factor in this contest. Mark Bennett has been forced to pay a heavy price to get his own shots away. Nick Webb off the mark with that attempt at the overhand right.
Webb is on it with his jab. He can post home if he keeps using the jab. Bennett just has no answers when it's in his face. Now, those advertisements are going to be dangerous. They have to be careful. Webb almost slipped over them again.
So Bennett, not sure he has the energy to bob and weave his way inside. He's trying to come forwards in straight lines, and when he does so, oh my goodness, Howard Foster putting his chin in the firing line there, because they didn't heed the command of break. So approaching the midpoint of this third and final round, and Bennett simply cannot get into range to land his own offense because he's been deterred and neutralized by that shot right there, the left jab. And when Nick Webb pushes it out, well, it completely takes Bennett out of his flow.
And Webb also was using some feints in between those jabs a few seconds ago, and that kind of deters. And the feints are really, really good, and they really work a lot better when your jab is landing. When your jab is landing and you mix feints in between it, the feints are killer because you get more reaction out of them. And that's what he was doing a bit ago. And now he's back on the jab. Bennett looking to rush here.
Well, Nick Webb showing good ring craft because he's not being perturbed by these bull rushes from Mark Bennett. And again, remaining absolutely committed to the cause. Currently working on the railways is Mark Bennett. But before that, he spent 6 years as one of the boys from the Black Stuff, part of the tarmac crew that laid the roads after struggling to adjust to life on Civvy Street after that medical discharge from the army in 2009 after being made partially deaf in his left ear, and that booming jab continues to thunder home from Nick Webb.
And Bennett really a fighter throughout life. I mean, with what he's been through, and being in Afghanistan, and then having to settle through hard labor back when he came back home. And now here in the tournament, he finds himself in the final. And you can see his character. He's not giving up. He's being controlled here, but he's still looking for the big shot. He knows he doesn't have a lot of time. Still with the mean intentions.
Forward with an explosive burst during that fusillade. Made Nick Webb a little bit disorganized, but nice to see that sporting embrace between these two giant super heavyweights here at the Planet Ice Arena in Altrincham. But from our vantage point, I think there can be little doubt that it's Nick Webb who has prevailed, and his educated left hand was absolutely a crucial component.
Yeah, class performance in the final by Nick Webb. Really put it together nicely. Feints, jabs, combinations, and really disarmed Bennett as well as beat up on him. But credit to Bennett for not only hanging tough, but looking for not only to win the fight, but looking for the big shots the whole time. See some of the action from that last round. See when Bennett rushed, Webb smartly tangled him up. And you see that there, Howard Paulson almost took a bad one. And he gave Bennett a little shove, like, yo, listen to me. That was a good jab by Bennett in that sequence. But most of the night, it was Webb's jab that was controlling the night.
Remember, Mark Bennett didn't have his first contest until he was 27 years of age. The 32-year-old. He said that he's got a fighter's mentality, always been a bit of a scrapper is how he described himself. And after coming out of the military, it suggested that he go into the boxing ring when he was working on the doors in Doncaster. Won his one charity bout, won his white collar bout, undefeated to this point in his professional career, but one suspects that he's going to be consigned to his first professional defeat tonight. Terry Kavanagh up in the boxing ring, and he is about to announce the winner of the prestigious Golden Robe, and the man who will take home the lion's share of the £50,000 prize fund here at Ultimate Boxer 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both fighters. They have finished off the show in style for us. After 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision. And now, the winner of the heavyweight Ultimate Boxer 6, Nick Webb!
What a night for Nick Webb. In his return to the boxing ring in 2019, after suffering a calamitous 2018 where he was knocked out twice, he showed his experience, kept his composure, and his punch-picking and boxing abilities coming to the fore as he controlled the final behind a wonderful left jab. He receives a warm embrace from Amir Khan, but perhaps most importantly, the Golden Robe.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your winner of Ultimate Boxer 6,
here in the 6th edition of the tournament, Nick Webb, the king of the heavyweights in Ultimate Boxer 6.
Wild Webb. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Ultimate Boxer heavyweight champion, Nick Wild Webb.
Yeah. I feel great. A bit emotional. I've had a fucking hard year, and it's been destroying me, but this has made it all worth it. Been hard on my fiance, been hard on my family, and yeah, I just fucking, you don't understand how hard.
Apologies for the language. I think it does just show the desire and the emotion that we're feeling right now.
Yeah.
A very big win for you, a powerful fight as well.
It's, you know, I come back from a very hard situation. I was in no man's land, and you don't understand how hard it's been, but I'm here now, and I've fucking done it.
Do me a favour, no more swear words, please. We are live on BT Sport. I do apologise for that, though, because the emotion is running high. Now, tell me, let's walk you through your journey to the final. In your first quarter-final, you actually said you were disappointed in your performance.
I was very disappointed in my performance. I've knocked Chris Healy out before, and I wanted to do it again. But the second one was good, and the third one was even better. So.
Your second fight ended in round 1. You really changed it up. Was there something that changed in your mental game there too?
What's that, sorry?
Was there something that changed in your mindset as well for that semi-final?
No, I just knew I can do it. I believed in myself when no one else believed in me. Everyone ripped me off. But look at me now, I'm here!
Congratulations, a massive win for you, ladies and gentlemen. Your Ultimate Boxer heavyweight champion, Nick Wildweb.
So there we go, our Ultimate Boxer 6 heavyweight champion, Nick Webb, and I think we've pretty much filled up the swear jar tonight as well, so apologies for that, but emotions running high. And Paulie, as he says, he's been through so much. I mean, look, you've been there when you've been down and you've been out, and we mentioned earlier that he had fights against Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorman signed and sealed, only to fall through.
Yeah, and that's boxing for you, really. You know, sometimes the business of boxing can be frustrating. Some untimely losses as well. That can be frustrating. Life will give you setbacks. Boxing will definitely give you setbacks. And just like in life, you have to try to bounce back in boxing if you plan on being successful and making a career of it. I don't think he was very active this year as well. I think this was maybe one fight this year or going in. So you can tell the ring rust was there in the first fight. He struggled in that first fight. It was very close to me until maybe the final minute. But once he got his bearings going, he got warmed up. You know, you could see you could see the quality of fighter he was, especially in the finals.
And you said it as well, didn't you? Because he just didn't have those brutal fights. I know he had a top one against Chris Healy, but not the brutal ones that Mark Bennett had.
It was they was two brutal fights, especially the second one. Like we said, it was possibly the best fight we've seen on Ultimate Boxing, the most exciting. Like you say, Nick Webb, he got behind the jab. His tactics was bang on in that last fight. He didn't want to get involved because he got buzzed. He got buzzed in the second round with a right hand, so Bennett was still dangerous. He was probably still a puncher and probably had the better chin of him, but he had to use his boxing skills. He got behind his jab, he got on his bike, and now it's very sensible performance, and the right man won.
And this is what's great. It's going to give this guy a platform as it has done in the previous 5 Ultimate Boxers. Let's go backstage, get a final word with Bunsey and with Jack.
Thanks very much. A bit chaotic, Becky. We just had the light kicked over. Jack, let's run through this quick, okay? Yeah. Fight of the night.
For me, the fight of the night was definitely Mark Bennett, Josh Sandland. He got up twice, and the heart he showed was unbelievable. He wanted it. He wanted to knock his head off.
And he won the last round.
And I honestly thought there was a chance he might have knocked him out. I thought he was that desperate. I thought he was going to do it, honestly.
You clearly got into that one. Now, what about shock of the night?
I was right into it. I wanted to get in there.
We don't have to talk about shock of the night. But what about shock of the night?
For me, shock of the night was definitely Danny Whitaker, late draft, and he beat my favourite, Jonathan Pilata. And I know he was your favourite too, wasn't he? So honestly, that was a shock of the night for me. And obviously, he boxed really, really well, and he shot me. He shot me in general, not just that fight.
And what about if there was... We get a gold robe for the winner, that's nice. But what about if we could have a pink robe for the fan favourite? I mean, apart from you, Jack, for the fan favourite, who would that be?
Well, ideally, I'd like the pink robe. If there's one going, I'm a...
Like a Versace one?
Yeah, I'm a large, but it's got to be Jay McFarlane. It'll match his little pink teddy, won't it? I love him. Honestly, I love him.
Oh, listen, when Jack brings that kind of enthusiasm, I absolutely love it. What a night. Nick Webb's the winner. 7 fights, 4 hours, blood, guts, gore, knockdowns. What more do you want? Ultimate Boxer 6, Ultimate Boxer 7 coming March or April. See you then.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Just a final word then, guys. I mean, let's be honest. It was a brilliant night. We didn't have probably the amount of knockdowns and knockouts that we expected.
Yeah, it's the first fight. What a fight to open it. And then it went a bit quiet, a bit more... say quiet, it didn't have the knockdowns or the knockouts.
Do you think the other boxers saw that and saw the way McFarlane was going in
Possibly,
it right
they was thinking tactically, I don't want to get involved in that. Unless you're crazy, you think, I don't want to get involved in a fight like that. I'm going to use my brain a little bit.
Yeah.
But we had an unbelievable semi-final. Possibly the best fight we've seen in Ultimate Boxer.
So many characters tonight, Paulie. We did the draw, didn't we, at BT Tower, and we knew that those stories were going to shine through in the ring.
Oh, absolutely. And in general, going back to McFarlane, who was a big character himself, you know, despite having lost in the first fight, you know, he almost wasted too much energy in that first round, not just punching, but making those shifty maneuvers. Like, somebody forgot to tell him he's overweight. If you're going to fight like that, you got to lose some weight because all those shifty maneuvers are going to tire you out. He would have his opponent here bend and make a shift over here and then punch and then come back around and make him punch. Like he was moving around like Juan Diaz used to a lightweight, you know. And you know that guy used to throw a lot of punches, so he didn't have the stamina to have that kind of style for the long haul. And obviously Bennett beat him. But of course Bennett's story itself is a great story. Military man coming back, having to get used to regular life just by doing a hard hard man's job, you know, and then construction, with the cementing, with the roads and whatnot, and then comes here as a wild card himself and just reaches all the way to the final. The hard way, the old school way, to fighting hard every time. He put on some exciting fights, both against McFarlane and against Sondland.
So there we go, the lights going on in the arena. You got 10 seconds to tell me how you're enjoying retirement.
Yep, it's going great. No temptation to get back in the ring. That way I'm spending a lot of time coaching, speaking to you guys, and I'll get involved with kids who are at risk of exclusion. So life's good.
Well, look, you deserve that swan song as well in Manchester. Such a great career, Ant. We're all very proud of you and great to have you with us here on Ultimate Boxer. Paulie, we're going to see you soon, and we're going to see you the other side of the new year. Yep. Ultimate Boxer 7 is coming your way in 2020, but your champion tonight is Nick Webb. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.